Unfortunately, nobody pooped on the train today.
How is that unfortunately?
Because it would have been really funny if it now actually happened today after talking about it.
Damn!
No.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in Psycho. Congrats on being first. Nice. Congrats on being second. Motonaut. Howdy to you as well. It is Wednesday. How are you all doing? I have a plethora of emotions prepared for you. Let's start with Tifa's story. You have one.
Oh, nobody pooped on the train today, but there was a super cute cat in the train and it was absolutely adorable. It was so cute.
And
so
she didn't steal it. And I don't know why she didn't. I mean, to be fair, the owner of the cat was right there with her.
The owner was next to it, looked like he could outrun me, and the cat was on a leash attached to his belt. And I didn't have scissors to cut it off.
That seems like a skill issue, because if you grab the cat and you run hard enough, the band will eventually snap. You know, you can get away from the guy.
Or I have a cat and a guy.
But then you have two guys.
I guess that's one way of looking at it.
I want to be in a one-guy relationship, Tifa.
Do they...
How will...
2 days
I didn't know I was suddenly in a polyamorous relationship. Happy for everybody where that works, but...
We can be in a cat relationship.
No. I can be more cat-like. As in, I will...
You already are.
As in, I will smell bad, and at 4 AM I will wake you by stepping on your chest and show you my asshole.
I think I even spit snot out.
If that's what you want, I can do that by going meow. That's what a cat does. I mean... No?
I was gonna comment on the fact that cats don't stink.
I'm sorry, have you smelled cats before?
Yes.
They don't smell great.
Yeah, don't smell their butthole. Which end are you smelling? Cats smell fine. But yes, 2 days in a row of wholesome public transport stories.
Yes.
And it was so cute. It was I actually had to look it up. It was a
Bengal
Bengal cat. You know, one of those leopard printed cats. And it was adorable.
She sent me a picture. I told her to go pss, 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 pss. Sorry for everybody that has cats that could possibly hear us now. I might have activated them. But then again, pss, 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 pss. I'm doing it on purpose.
It was so cute. Like the cat was quiet the entire time and he was laying on the seat. And then at some point, the owner was like, we were at the stop where we had to get out, same as I was. And at some point he was like, down. And I was like, oh, this cat can listen to commands. And the cat just looked at him and he's like, down. And then like pointing at the floor, like, get down.
Aggressively.
Well, I guess this cat can listen if you want. So the cat just, meow. He's like, down. Meow. And I just lifted him up and took him out. It's like
I laugh that it didn't work. That's like the most cat thing to do. Like, no cat, do this or don't do that. Cat's like, meow. Like, no. You do it yourself. You carry me, man.
It was so cute. Yeah, it was adorable.
So you want a public transport cat for yourself?
I do.
Like an assistant cat kind of thing. Could be cute.
But I want it not only in public transport, but it
Fair
can
enough.
join me in public transport.
I want to go outside with a cat the most when it's winter and it's getting slightly windy, because I have this idea in my head that I would absolutely love to have a cat that is a bit bigger, as in like their body is longer and it really likes just being lazy, so I would put it around my neck to warm me. And like it can lay on my shoulders. I've seen cats actually do that out of their own volition and it is adorable.
That is true, it is really cute.
And again, with how my skin is just from it being summer, I don't think I should add my cat allergy to this. I will not enjoy that, I think.
I'll do a cat for you.
Maybe I should check out those allergy meds at some point, because maybe that'll also help whatever is happening to my face. Maybe that would be nice. I don't know.
Now, before I come home, I find a random cat on the street, like rub the cat all over me before I come home.
I don't know how to say this, but the thought has crossed my mind before that you do something like that.
Oh, kitty!
Not. This is a true toxic thought I've had before. I never like acted on it, but I've had that idea in my head. So the thing is, you know those memes that, you know, a girl goes to the bathroom and then they have like 20 different skin and hair products and they spend like an hour and they use like 4 different towels for all the different parts of her body and then they still break out in zits and then they're like, it sucks. Versus guy goes in, like uses 1 towel, 1 shampoo and he just comes out like model.
Fun fact, in our relationship it's the other way around.
Exactly. I spent twice as long just making my face look the way it does than Tifa. It's just like skincare. Not that I want to, I feel like I have to. If I don't, it gets worse. But sometimes I think when I'm not looking, Tifa does things to me or to my skin. Like maybe when she goes outside and sees a cat, she picks up a few hairs and then she like sprinkles them in my food. Not to hurt me, that would be malicious, but to like try to have me build like an internal resistance to my allergies to cats.
I do say that would work.
Like when we go to bed, she quickly like runs outside, plays in the sand or whatever, and then comes back in without washing her hands because she doesn't have any of these issues, it's only me. Maybe one day we will find out.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
We can try to find the dermatologist again. Go to a different one this time.
The last ones I've been to were like, yeah, no, just keep washing it. It's like, clearly that doesn't seem to do the trick. But anyway, maybe one day.
I think sometimes with all the stuff you're trying to do, it gets worse.
Possible, yeah, but in all of my efforts to try to help my skin, I make it worse. I don't know. Any of you dermatologists? Any of you free for a free, like super intensive consultation? Because clearly I do need the help. As I gently try to scratch myself so to not offend my skin. I don't know.
I have no advice. I would scratch for you, but...
Please don't. Actually, maybe that will make it better. Like, but then again, being the guy that asks other people to scratch their face also seems kind of weird.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna try to just do resistance training.
No.
We'll start with once a week. We'll go out into public transport. You're going to touch everything.
No, and then your face. No.
No, we'll start slowly. First, we're going to touch everything. The seats, the handles, the poles, the hand things hanging off the ceiling. And then we're gonna go home and you're not gonna wash your hands for like an hour. Then you can go wash your hands and then we're like slowly going to build that up. And at some point, like after we've gone to the supermarket and touched random products on the shelf, you're gonna start touching your skin. And maybe first start like on your arms, and then we'll slowly build up to your face, and then before you know it, you'll just be like,
The final step is Tifa finding the 2 boys from the train back then, and then together we go lick the chairs.
Oh, it could be a fun activity.
Yeah.
That will be the ultimate test to see if you have moved on, and after that you will see that it will be better.
I actually try not doing anything. Psycho, I've done that before because I had the same thought. I haven't done that in a while. Maybe I should try it again during our vacation. The last time I did that, my skin got so dry, it would actually flake off.
Yeah, we could pull off like entire patches of your skin like that.
Like if I did this, you could see that parts of my skin, like, I don't know, I have like Wolverine's healing factor, but only on the outer layer of my skin, not where it actually seems to matter. Like, I would shed like a lizard. Like, my face would just, as a whole mask, almost like come off. And like, what do you do with that? It's not helpful.
Yeah, or maybe just less, like not every day.
I will give it a shot. We've got 2 weeks coming up where I don't need to be in front of a camera, so getting rid of excess skin can work. Yeah, been there, done that as well. Just last week, and then it got worse. I appreciate the ideas, but I think I've tried basically everything I can outside of leaving my body to science and bonk. No, I really do appreciate it.
But if anyone has any creative ideas, bring it and we will try them all on stream.
No.
No?
No.
No.
Have you tried cutting off your skin and letting it grow back naturally?
Okay, let's try that.
No, you freak. What? No. No. Ew. Ew. No, that's painful and horrible. You've watched too many alien movies.
No, but funnily enough, it's always on one side, mainly.
Yeah, and it used to be on the left, and at some point it went to the right. I don't know why. I can't explain it to you, but anyway. Talking about bad skin, tomorrow we get to hang out with my dad and my grandmother.
Oh, it's his birthday!
Yes. I'm very happy. Wait, are you shocked because of my segue, or do you not remember? Or do you now also remember that we still didn't take care of a birthday gift for him? Or do you remember that tomorrow is the hottest day in the entire week and you have to go outside?
Yes.
Yes to all. Yeah.
Yes to all of the above.
My grandmother's doing well, but she's still completely bandaged up because of reasons we've discussed previously. And she takes forever to heal. It's gonna be great. I'm not looking forward. But I'm very happy that his birthday falls on a Thursday this year, so I don't have to give up a streaming day for it.
Aren't we also meeting at like 8?
7 in the evening. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So this...
I already made plans with the couch.
That's too bad. So that starts my story of pain. And then the other thing I wanted to share, I've just, not too long ago, I don't remember when, talked about, hey, it's Gamescom soon, and it's been a while since Blue Protocol got announced.
Oh yeah.
Blue Protocol, spoilers, was this very anime-looking MMO I was looking forward to that I've been following for, I want to say, 4 or 5 years now. They posted like snippets, the character creator looked amazing, the graphics looked like you're playing an anime. From what I've seen, it looked beautiful, and I've been waiting to play this for like half a decade. And this morning, the alarm goes off, Tifa gets up, I do my usual thing. Thank you, that's actually helpful. I get out my phone, I scroll through a news feed. Amazon and Bandai Namco announce that in January, Blue Protocol in Japan is going offline and the Western release has been cancelled.
I mean, I also have to say it's kind of deserved from what you told me. Like, apparently to get like new gear or armor,
you had to pay
for a gacha to get new stuff. And nobody wants to play an MMO where you cannot get new gear like naturally through the game, but I have to pay for each new upgrade. Like, I'm sorry, you kinda, in my eyes, you kinda deserve to then be shut down if that's how
that is
you make
one
it.
of the problems I've read in multiple comments. You know, people post the weirdest things online. But apparently, the story and gameplay just weren't that great, which to me isn't shocking because the game was only out for like a year at this point. You know, of course you want more from an MMO because you want to play this forever, technically, but it's only been a year. It needs time to grow. I could get behind that. But apparently, like, character progression at some point would lock you in where you can't really get good equipment and you have to get it through a gacha system. With real money and really high prices. I think I saw one comment saying that they paid between 40 and 50 bucks for 10 poles, which... what the actual fuck? That's disgusting. That does not deserve to exist. I fully agree with that.
It looked beautiful. I hope they can at least use it for the basis of maybe a new game with better, I don't want to say practices, with a better marketing approach maybe.
Rework the game into a single player experience and then re-release it. I would be okay with that. since I'm never gonna get to play the MMO.
But yeah, it's absolutely deserved if you ask me, because just make the monthly subscription a bit higher in that case.
Jesus, even by the gacha games, that's god awful.
Yes. I already thought like Genshin Impact was bad, but at least you can play through the entire game. You just unlock more characters and stuff, I believe.
I've recently, like a week or two after it came out, I've been playing Zenless Zone Zero. And when I say I've been playing it, I don't mean like regularly, like every other day I play for like half an hour or so. And I like the gameplay, I like the music, I like the style they went with. That really draws me in. I haven't paid a single cent and I don't plan to. Because you can just basically, from where I stand currently, get everything in-game for free if you just keep playing. Is it gonna get really grindy at some point? Probably. But so far, I don't feel it. I don't know what like Genshin Impact and stuff will get to if you keep playing, but from what I've seen of those, you get a ton of game without ever needing to pay. You will get stuff for it, probably, I guess, but the base game you can experience for free is tremendously like big, and it will take you a while to get there.
I don't even mind putting some money in a game, especially if I enjoy it. Like, I understand they need to get these servers running as well.
People need to get paid, I get that. Yes.
It's like the 1% of players who put so much money in, they keep it running themselves. And I don't actually know if Blue Protocol also had a monthly sub.
I do not know that. They kicked out all Western players early on after Japanese release, so I haven't seen any comments from people whether they, like from Japanese players, if they had to pay a sub fee or if it was free to play. But even then, like if you want to keep progressing, but to get like to be able to play the game, you will need better equipment for your character, because you know that's how MMOs work. You need to get stronger. You can't, because you get paywalled.
I mentioned the sub because I was like, instead of this, just have a monthly sub and maybe make that slightly more expensive.
Like
if you
Final Fantasy
really
XIV. Yeah, just charge me monthly money and then you just give me stuff. I don't care about it.
Yeah, but even for gacha game standards, that is god awful.
Yes.
I was really looking forward to it too. Like, you've been hyped for like 1.5 years
I've been waiting for 5 years since the first like teasers.
Yeah. The only thing I remember said last year, we were talking about maybe streaming an MMO. And
like,
then
yes,
it was like,
beautiful.
oh, let's start with Blue Protocol. Because
MMO
that's brand
Mondays.
new.
It's even in the name. Just do Monday, but MMO Monday. It's beautiful. It was born in my head. I was looking forward to it. Screw you, Bandai Namco.
And we were like, okay, we can try that out with Blue Protocol when it comes out. It's like...
Zenless Zone Zero. Super aesthetically pleasing. Yes, it's right up my alley. I usually, like, I mean, you see me on stream 4 days a week. I don't really care about fashion, but like, I want to say it oozes style, and like, I like it.
I find this a very fashionable shirt.
You picked this shirt.
Fun fact though, my brother works at a finance company where they all have to come into work in suits.
They have a dress code, an actual dress code. They are barred from wearing certain like color combinations too. Not because of like, I don't know, political movements or something like that, you know, that are assigned to these. No, just it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, so refrain from wearing that. It's like,
it's the full financial suits, shiny shoes, it's the whole picture. And they have this little book with the dress code guidelines, and they have a few pages on how not to dress. And there's actually a model in there that kind of looks like Jack, and he's wearing this shirt on it, which was somehow super funny. So now every time he wears that shirt, I'm thinking how you would not be able to work in my brother's office, because this shirt is off limits.
I am 100% okay with that. I'm super happy. Her brother is really happy with his job as far as I know. So that's great for him, and he looks great in like all the formal wear, so like that doesn't hurt him
handsome in it.
one bit. But I don't think I ever want to work for a company that tells me how to dress.
I can't do dress codes either.
Like if you hire me to model your clothing, cool, I get that, you know, but there's something attached to that. But if you pay me for the work I do, like for my expertise, why do you care what I look like? I will never understand that part. Like,
I mean, I do agree there should be like certain limits. Can't come all covered in mud and stuff like that.
maybe that would help my face though. So I do it for medical reasons. There you go. Good luck fighting me on that one. Maybe I should try caking my face with mud.
You have this... Oh, how about we do a spa day? I've never done a spa day.
Same, but I'm really worried what that will do to my skin. If after the vacation I looked like my face exploded, we went to a spa.
Like, I've kind of always wanted to do one.
Yeah, same.
And then whenever I look at it, I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I can't, I don't know.
Why not?
I feel like I'm not the type of person
But you can.
who's welcome in a spa. It's really weird, but those are just the things I think of. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this.
I will cut through your words. One of the very few, probably the only like motto I've ever taken from my dad that is actually good. We've talked about my family before. You know what kind of people they are. It's a wonder I'm still as good as I am as a person. But one of the very few things he's ever said to me that sometimes I recall and live by in a way is, if I can pay for it, why shouldn't I do it? And it's not just like for everything in life, because then it could also go wrong. But it's like if you want to go to a spa and you pay for the spa treatment, why would you let anybody judge you for who or how you who you are or how you look or how you enjoy it?
Has
You
anyone
paid for
ever done a spa day? It seems kind of like could be fun. Or maybe it's horrible. But then at least we've done it, I guess.
I'm pretty sure there's a WikiHow article on how to do a spa day. Right.
I want to sit in one of those bathtubs filled with mud. Even though I don't think that's a typical...
Because we've seen that in Suits. Am I right?
Yeah, I forgot his name. What was his name?
It's the
semi-annoying
the slightly
one.
shorter guy that gets a lot of hate. Lewis.
Lewis, yes. He sits in the mud bathtub, I believe.
Yeah.
With the cucumbers on your eyes. I want the cucumbers on my eyes.
If you've never watched Suits, I recommend it. The show kind of falls off near the end, but up until... You will be able to tell. But I want to say, especially the first few seasons were pretty good. Also easy to like just put on. If you miss an episode,
That's fine.
it's probably fine because the general plot of the show moves rather slowly.
It's been semi-enjoyable.
How to have a relaxing spa day with pictures. Spa treatments. How-to articles from WikiHow.
Hey, don't forget, I bought face masks for the next time we go camping in the living room.
It's not camping.
It feels like camping.
I will go camping with you in the living room. When do you want to do that?
I don't know, maybe after our vacation.
So like a post-vacation camping thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
like to keep the feeling in. Then we can watch Quest for Camelot again.
No, we don't need to do that. When Tifa says camping, it's just sleeping in the living room versus in the bedroom. She's
On an airbed.
on an air mattress, that's true. She is easy to please, which is good for me because, I mean, you know, makes my life easier too.
Well, I still like it.
The
I
last-
recommend doing it.
We have a habit lately, and I think that's proof of how in sync we are, that we start talking at the same time, but completely different things. I think that's amazing. Like we are completely in sync, just not aligned. Does it make sense? Like our rhythm is exactly down to a T. It is identical, but yeah. But I have good news. My first scientific paper as a first author got accepted last night.
Oh, congratulations!
That sound. Aren't you forgetting something? Good. Better. Congratulations.
That is awesome.
Is it like how is the process? Does that mean like it's done? Is there like a peer processing kind of thing? Like, do you need to like?
And who
I don't know
accepts it?
anything about this. Do you like submit it and then now it will be published, or is there still like steps that somebody else needs to look at it? Either way, great.
So wait, what do you mean with first author?
Papers have multiple authors sometimes because lots of people worked on it. But I'm guessing that the person who gets their name on it first gets most of the credit. Because,
like based on how much work you...
Yeah, it's like in movies when they go starring Jack. Also starring Tifa. Exactly. Exactly. It's annoying, it's only gone through reviews at this journal, so now it just needs to be published. Okay, congratulations. When is it gonna be out? Are you gonna get a copy for free, or do they also still make you like buy one? Because I feel like you should get it for free because your name is in it. And you give them like your content.
Scientific papers are usually free to read, no?
I do not know.
It's not something like published as a book. I was gonna say book.
A book.
Published.
Like a newspaper paper.
No. Shit.
Welcome to my favorite letters, XX. That means I'm the main person doing the experiments, data collection, analysis, and writing the paper. Congratulations. I'm super happy for you. You already know the date when it's gonna get published.
I'm super happy for you.
It.
Super proud of you. That is an awesome achievement.
Oh, Tifa. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have to pay for it.
I don't know. When have I ever...
Please tell us. You can very clearly tell that neither of us do any sciencey stuff, other than the basically miracles that we perform on stream. But those are not like published. So, as in, not in papers.
The only thing I remember from papers is from watching The Good Doctor, where a couple of them have been published, and then it basically gets put into this online archive where people can read it.
Yeah, but I think that show takes some liberties with making it so that the lame people like us understand.
Probably, yeah.
It should actually be published. Haven't checked when the next issue goes out. Find out, and on that day you should celebrate.
Yes, go for a nice dinner with mutton art. Oh my god. What is up today? Oh, how do you like this steak? It's really nice. How would you like one of my nuggets?
What Tifa is saying is you should treat yourself so hard you're celebrating for two people.
I was gonna say groundhog.
I get that so much. 100%. When I know that people are a couple, sometimes I refer to both of them with the name of only one person. And that has nothing to do with like how I see these people, but to me they've become kind of an entity, and like their names are interchangeable. I know that they're different people, but still, you know, they're like steak and nuggets. Interesting dinner choice, Steve. It's your day today, I think. Usually those are like my moves.
Well, I thought of steak because steak is kind of connected to a fancy dinner, I want to say. And then I couldn't think of another fancy dinner dish. And then yesterday we were talking about nuggies.
Tifa's list of fancy food item goes steak.
How often do we go for nuggets?
Nuggets.
But the high quality nuggets.
The fresh ones from the McDonald's. We're jiggling so hard our chairs are rubbing against each other. I don't know if you can hear, but I do. Ah, beautiful.
If I had to pick though, I would pick nuggets over steak. I'm not a big steak fan.
It's been 12 years since I had a steak last time. And if I could eat it, I would devour it right now.
I never had I feel like a steak.
I have, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, that's understandable because...
Yes.
You liked steak back then.
I only ever had one that I actually enjoyed, but yeah, that one was really good.
I guess it's more the thought of...
But nuggets are nuggets. So, you know, like, who doesn't like nuggets? I'm pretty sure there are some people, and like, okay, more for the rest of us, but who doesn't like nuggets? Come on.
You can't really go wrong with them.
I just don't think there's a place that necessarily does like a fancy steak dinner and nuggets. You know what I mean? I've never seen a place like on the menu where have like a surf and turf, you know, with the steak with weird stuff out of water on it, and nuggets. Maybe if you order from the kids menu and you ask real nice.
I mean, that is fair. Can try. No, but that beside, I am weirdly proud of you. Super well done.
Weirdly proud of you.
Well, it feels kind of weird to say I'm proud of you.
Not at all. I see a big achievement. You probably worked really hard on this. I don't think somebody goes through all of these steps just for fun. So, nice. Congratulations. Well deserved. When's the next one coming out?
Maybe Applebee's. What's Applebee's?
It is a restaurant chain in the Americas. Applebee's.
I'm slightly disappointed in their logo. I expected a bee.
I would love to check out the Applebee's menu with Tifa right now to make her jealous of your culinary breadth of availability in the US, but Applebee's blocks European users from accessing the website.
It goes to Google Images at least.
And I can't pull up a VPN because that's gonna kill the stream.
A lot of American websites are blocking European users because of the whole cookie rules and stuff like that.
Open image in new tab.
Oh, that kind of looks like... What's that chain in the UK? I can't think of it.
Ah yes, my favorite chain in the UK. Ah, blah blah blah.
No, should I have it on the tip of my tongue?
9.19. I don't know how old this image is that I found. $10 chicken tenders plate looks great. At least the picture. I have never seen it in real life. Maybe it's like McDonald's, you know, where they have your picture that looks like wow, and then you order, it's like.
Looks nice.
Chicken salad, grilled chicken breast. That also looks nice. Cheeseburgers, grilled cheese, some salads. Doesn't look bad. Ooh, mozzarella sticks. You can buy them for 50 cents each.
Per piece even. You don't see that a lot.
Yeah, but this way I can go, here's $50, give me 1,000. You know? And it works.
That is very true. Dark Lord, how you doing?
Apple Babbles neighbor. Yes, that's Tifa's favorite restaurant in the good old UK.
No,
is what she said.
It's a big chain. I'll wear Skinner when you need it.
TGI Fridays, Witherspoons.
Witherspoons, yes!
I've been to the UK 3 times in my life. Twice with her.
They had nice corn.
Oh, 4 times. 3 times with her.
I already have 2 that I'm working on. Okay, that sounds like a lot. This paper
you gone?
Was under review by the journal for 6 months. Got the reviews back and there was a single comment from a reviewer about adjusting something.
Okay.
That's good, right?
Is 6 months long or short? Because to me, it feels long. But then again, also just 1 comment to adjust something, so that doesn't seem like, I don't know, like a bad thing. It took them a while to get through it. I also don't know how many they need to review. You know, if there's like 1 million people trying to get something published, then it's just gonna take a while.
Fair enough. It's America. None of the food actually looks like the pictures.
Same here.
That is not an American
That's not
thing.
an American issue. No, that's a corporate wants to make money and they hire food artists, and then you'll just get what you get when you order. That's an everywhere kind of thing, I'm afraid.
Even better is if you get like a filled sandwich and you think like, oh this looks absolutely amazing and like super filled, and then
this
you buy it. This
actually looks like in the pictures.
Yeah, exactly. And then you actually buy it, eat it, and then basically all of the filling is like pushed to the side so that the middle is empty, with the exception of maybe a leaf of salad, because they stuffed everything at the way where you can actually see it from the outside and think like, oh, this looks so nice and much, and it's like, oh.
Worst offender of that recently that I've been to, Subway. When we went to the Netherlands with my dad a few months ago, we made a stop along the way to get like gas and get some food, and we did go to a Subway. as far as the Subway goes, the food was good. It was fresh, it was tasty, and that's my experience there. Like every single time I've ever been there lately in the last 2-3 years, they cut the bread like a triangle, but then the food like all squishes out towards where the cut is. It's like, how do I eat this? I want to say next time I go there, just ask them, can you just dump all the stuff into a bowl and give me the bread on the side so I can just take a spoon and like eat the filling and then just bite into the bread, because it's going to be less messy. I don't even mind that. It's like a burrito bowl with extra steps. Dark Lord just woke up, gonna go see Coraline in 3D.
Oh,
Please
have
enjoy.
fun.
Have I ever seen Coraline?
I think I have watched it and you watched along for bits.
I was laying on the couch playing something on my phone while that movie was on. Couldn't tell anything about it.
Wait, did they just re-release it again in 3D?
Yes.
Okay.
Or it's showing someone.
Well, maybe
Either way,
there was a
please
part
enjoy.
2 or something. Have fun. That was
6
a fun
months
movie.
is insanely long, especially for one comment. Okay. Maybe they really wanted to put the love into the work for you. You know? Just trying to find silver linings and positive reasons. So the Love Subway back when a footlong was $5. And back when I was on my way to a conference recently, it's like 15 for the same sandwich now. Yes, it's the same over here.
Subway is not cheap anymore.
Like first the pandemic happened, then Russia attacked Ukraine, and then prices just went floop. And then it's like, so I can now stand in line here, wait for a sub to be done and pay $15. That's the price over here as well, I think. It's close, 14 or 15 bucks. Or can go to the supermarket next door and just grab food there, and it will be cheaper. And may or may not be as bad depending on what your supermarkets have to offer.
And still you have a weird love/loyalty to Subway.
Yeah, because...
Not loyalty as in we go there quite often. I wouldn't say on average we're there once a year.
Yeah. Because it just hits a certain spot. It's like when you suddenly crave a McDonald's cheeseburger. Like objectively, they are not great. But they have that very specific flavor that you remember from your childhood because as a kid you've eaten one.
I wanted to get a fish fillet at McDonald's
Filet
last
of
week.
fish
A
for
filet
our
of fish.
international audiences.
It's the same here.
Oh, you're just weird, okay.
Kid, I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat this. I remember them being like $1.99 and I had a really weird craving for it because it's been years since I've had one. And one was $6. Those buns are smaller than my fist.
Why did it seem like you want to punch somebody?
I do, and I'm also reading the kebab being $3.50.
Yeah.
Like that now being $7 to $8, more like 8 to 9, is a federal crime. And
Yes.
I don't get why the entire country isn't rioting about this, really.
Yeah, we do need a kebab cap for like prices because it's disgusting.
Show me a political party that will implement that, and I will vote for you.
I'll say I will want to vote for you, but I still look at the other stuff.
Suddenly the Nazi parties are like,
Yeah,
text.
no,
Okay.
no, I will not vote for a Nazi party just because they make kebab cheaper.
No, but I agree, and that is like...
It's a crime against humanity. Everybody deserves affordable, tasty, perfect kebabs. Everybody does.
It really is. And now, the shitty thing is, I did come by a place last time where I saw it for being like $4 or $5.
You're gonna die after you eat that.
$4.50. And if you see that now, because back then, if you saw a donor place that sold them for like $1.99, you'd be like, this
Your
can't be
body
bad,
will
right?
pay the price.
Exactly. But now, if you see one still around the $3.50, $4 range, like you're like, this is a dream come true, but you're also like, this is suspicious.
The difference in price is being made up somehow, and usually, unfortunately, it's the quality. I know people that have been to multiple places, I don't know how many, but multiple places that had these offers like, we've just opened, every kebab is $1.99, and every single one of them told the same story. I had shat my guts out for 2 days after, but the kebab was great, it tasted amazing. But I lost weight afterwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. But the prices do need to go down again at some point. I would very much like that.
I would really enjoy that too. That would be nice.
Doesn't need to go down ever again is me looking forward to our special stream this Friday. I still wanted to save it and plug that. I'm still not gonna tell you all what we're gonna be doing then, but I've been waiting for this to happen for like a year. I have overruled Tifa's poopy-headedness so that it is actually gonna happen, and it will be special. And I have tried to do some research. I don't know if this idea has ever been done on Twitch before or on a live stream like that. I'm just saying. Not the way we're doing it.
I mean,
Not the way we're doing it.
Not the way we're doing it, yes.
I'm just saying. People have done parts of what we're gonna do on Friday on the internet before, but never like that.
Well,
I think. I do not know.
Getting the hype up.
I don't want to be the guy that just, says clickbaity things on the internet for fun. I have tried to look it up. I have tried to do my research. I couldn't find anything. I could be wrong. I could have just been bad at Google. Sonic Adventure 2 with co-op mode. That would be nice. But
have a good meeting. Hopefully see you on Friday or later.
yes.
We will enjoy the Hinamizawa.
Remember to tell everybody that you will be published soon. And make them chip in to buy you a steak and nuggets when you go eat with yourself. and maybe Groundhog or whoever else you want to celebrate.
Send a picture to Groundhog of your 2 plates that you're eating yourself.
Take a selfie with you and your fancy steak and then walk around the table, take a selfie with you eating nuggets. Yes.
No, I can imagine the scene where you just take a picture of yourself along and you put that across the table so you can have a conversation with yourself as well.
So that either way you will be the most interesting person at the table. Please try this out and tell us how the rest of the world around you reacted to that. But it's not Sonic Adventure 2. If you check our Blue Sky post, there is a hint in there. If you know, it's super easy to guess from what I posted. But if you don't know, it's just going to be a surprise for all of you. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Totally not having a look at our Blue Sky post.
Do you not check our schedule, Tifa? I mean, you live the schedule, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, like I see the schedule then and go...
I hate her so much sometimes.
I shall read it out so that we all know... Is it this one?
You can't read this out, Tifa. The hint is pictures. She really hasn't looked at it at all yet. Is she throwing up or why is she covering up everything?
I had to zoom in myself for
You
the
had
pictures.
to zoom in! She did, I swear, last thing and then we will actually get into video game. She does this all the time. I keep telling her she has bad posture. Sometimes Tifa sits there like this. And I'm trying to help her fix her posture. But sometimes... You good?
I have a shiver.
Alright. I walk past her and then like she's working on a laptop or something and she does like this, it's like super curled over like position. And I'm asking her, what are you doing? She's like, I'm zooming in. You do understand that in 99% of all pieces of software used, you can make the text bigger.
Yeah, I know.
Like they have zoom functions in anything.
But it's annoying without a mouse on this thing.
It would also annoy me if I lived with a fiance that didn't have a neck anymore because she fused it with her, like, I don't know, what's this, the clavicle? I like you having a throat and a neck.
But the positive side, there's less chance of me breaking it then.
I think if you get to that point, you have broken something in your body.
But yeah, there is actually a good hint on there on Discord. Or Blue Sky that you can also see on Discord.
Thank you for taking until Wednesday to actually check our own schedule and the posts I put on it.
But I already knew the schedule. I just didn't see the post yet. I kid, I totally saw it already. No, too late.
I'm giving you the silent treatment to punish you. It's just funnier that way for me.
But you know who's never silent? Our main characters in Higurashi, because they always speak up when there's injustice. As you will find out today. The last time. Oh, see what a great segue. Huh? It was pretty good.
Okay, fair enough. The segue wasn't that bad.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, you first had to make an ass out of yourself to make it work. But then again, I understand how much you're willing to sacrifice for the craft, so 7 out of 10. Tifa, please tell me and the world what has happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 3 Sorry, I believe it's now called Tatarigoroshi. The segue is Jackson, you took it from her.
Yeah, but I did a really good job at least.
Yes, she did. But I'm okay with it. I'd rather it be our thing than just my thing.
Oh, sweet.
That's how adorable I am.
So precious.
Stop stalling. Recap now.
So, the last time we played Higurashi, Keiichi was in the nurse's office at school together with Irie-san after he saved us from the big bad evil, which is Ooishi-san.
And his fingers dug in our shoulders.
We had a little talk about why everyone hates Ooishi, and it basically comes down to the village believing he is Oyashiro-sama's servant, because every time our victims of the Watanagashi die or disappear, they have spoken to Ooishi beforehand, maybe several times, maybe once, but they see a connection to it and they believe Ooishi-san is there to pick the victims every single year. So when Ooishi-san wants to talk to you, it's not a good thing.
Then you're gonna be next.
Exactly.
Like a reverse causality kind of loop. You know.
That has led us into a small talk about the Watanagashi, the disappearances, but we focused on the part that happened to Satoko.
No details, just Watanagashi is a festival and then somebody dies and somebody is lost. Just that. No gruesome actual Watanagashi details like in chapter 2.
Because Keiichi was like, oh yeah, I remember what this is from overhearing Mion talking about this with a classmate.
My schoolmates talked about this.
Basically. So we've learned, I think again, because we already knew that bit, that Satoko's parents died
on a mountain.
After falling from a viewing
platform trip, yeah.
And then we've also learned that Satoko was then sent to her aunt and uncle together with her brother Satoshi to live there. And they were horrible as people who abused them.
Physically and mentally.
Basically that, until at some point the aunt was beaten to death with a club.
A bat. I think they specifically said bat. Yeah. Sorry,
beaten to death with a bat. Teppei, the uncle, got the blame for it, was on the run.
Allegedly under the influence of drugs.
Oh, yeah,
which made us go, weird drugs in Higurashi. Could that be connected to the drug that made people claw out their own throats? We do not know.
Exactly. So basically that, which of course was already horrible by itself, then Satoshi decided to transfer, run off, whatever.
When he transferred,
he disappeared. They don't say anything else about that.
We also had an idea. Maybe the aunt got killed by Satoshi, because Satoshi, being, in the super shitty situation where he and his sister were being abused, he took the chance and ended their suffering by lashing out at one of the people doing this to them. Which isn't great, but if you treat somebody like a piece of shit, they're gonna retaliate at some point probably.
Obviously not confirmed,
yes,
just a theory.
Just a thought.
we got interrupted by all of our friends coming in, being worried about us. But later on that day, Satoko actually came to school.
Yes, during lunch break.
During the lunch break, which was kind of surprising. She made a joke that she looked bad, by the way. She made a joke that she...
Before we got to see Satoko appear during the lunch break, the two little boys, Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun, took us aside to tell us about a rumor that they heard. So we went behind the school building, and they essentially told us, yeah, our families have seen Satoko, because like one of their grandmas runs a tofu store, and Satoko dropped by to buy really expensive soft tofu, which is completely not like Satoko, because they always buy the cheap stuff since they are short on money. And that's weird. And then Satoko showed up, and she effectively confirmed in just a throwaway line, oh yeah, my uncle has shown up, and I live in his house now. And I've cleaned up the house for 3 days.
Did she actually say the uncle was
Yes.
back? Because there was also
Yes,
the
she
rumor that the uncle has returned.
No, she has.
Okay, she did
She
say
said
that.
that.
So basically that, it turned out it wasn't a joke. We've then been talking to it with Mion and Reina-san, because Satoko was pulled into the teacher's office together with Rika to talk about why she was missing for 3 days at this point, by the way. We had a little
And she looked
time
and
skip.
seemed to act like she hasn't slept or eaten in 3 days either. As in, she was so bad that one of the first things Keiichi commented on was that her skin even looks bad. And it takes a bit, like you need to get tired and like exhausted to a certain point until your skin, like your face will look bad first, but your skin to actually go bad.
When we actually ask Mion and Reina if they know anything, it turns out Mion was like, oh yeah, I don't know for certain. But
I've known since the first day.
But I've known since the first day that her uncle was back, who we already know is an abusive asshole, and he's probably been keeping her hostage for 3 days.
Yeah,
and had to clean the entire house up and down because he wants to live there now.
Apparently he is like the least useful piece of shit ever. He can't cook, he can't clean, he can't do nothing for himself. But he can abuse an 11-year-old into being his house slave.
Basically, and Mion knew and decided not to say anything about it, and that's where we currently are.
Reina didn't know anything. She might have she might have had suspicions, but she didn't know anything. Yeah, and when I got really mad at Mion, my own best friend. No excuses for this.
So yeah, let's see. I'm guessing after this scene, Satoko will come back and we'll hear more about it.
Yeah, prepare for me to be salty about people just looking away during a really abusive relationship. Like,
But why though? Why to which part?
Why wouldn't she say anything?
Oh.
I don't think Mion really went into it, just like, yeah, it's like complicated and stuff, and I didn't know if I should say anything. Like, assuming this is still the same, like, social, economic dynamics as in Chapter 2, you're still the second in line of the Sonozaki family, and Teppei Hojo apparently has worked for the Sonozakis. So even if you can't show up there at the house to make him stop this, you can probably find somebody that you can give money to that Teppei doesn't know. Or you could have, I don't know, had somebody follow Satoko around to protect her.
If anything, it's probably a status thing. Like the Hojos are hated because of their part in the dam project.
Oh yeah, true.
We've also gone a bit into that. They were in favor of it, and basically they took the hit for everyone who also was as the public figures.
Allegedly, because we don't have anything confirmed yet necessarily. It's just like from tips, like, oh, we believe.
No, Irie has explained that.
Yeah, let me finish, then it will make sense. Okay. The Hojo family never had a lot of money back when the parents were still alive. Like, they're really down on their luck. So apparently, because the construction people were going to give a lot of money to the people to find new homes because they were going to flood Hinamizawa, the dad, the Hojo, was happy about this because, you know, hey, we can start a new life with this money. Hey, nice. And they kind of became the spokespeople for all the people in favor of the dam project, which made them the targets. Because the Sonozakis eventually got to all the people, and in the end, Hojo and his family were the only ones that were like, yeah, but it's a good idea. And
no, they weren't the only ones, but they were the ones stepping up for everyone who was too scared to and couldn't.
Yeah,
so they were basically
everybody else
the
got
target.
Sonozaki'd.
Yeah, they were basically the target.
Yes, but they were the only ones left. That was part of the tip.
It's not they were the only ones left. The only ones left alive of everyone that was pro-favor are currently...
Pro-favor.
Who were in favor of the dam project are Satoko and the uncle. No, not the uncle. Who was the second person?
They weren't even in favor. Satoko was a little girl back then.
That is involved in the family. It doesn't even matter. She's connected to it, so everyone hates the Hojo-san family. And we already know Mion is kind of biased to at least her demon version from the previous chapter for her involvement. So,
presumably this carries over to this chapter.
So they probably wouldn't interrupt because, hey, fuck the Hojos, right?
Yeah, they're cursed anyway.
Exactly. And I think that's the reason why she's just staying quiet.
Yeah. Also, don't know if it's gonna be important again, but from this police report we got to read, apparently Teppei, the abusive uncle who has now returned and taken Satoko hostage basically, wasn't friends with the lady whose body was found, but he was her pimp. I feel like that's also important for the dynamics and all of this.
Oh yeah, and people now believe that because the relationship stranded, he came back.
Their relationship ended, so he returned to Hinamizawa. That's the story. Yeah. Are you ready, Tifa?
Go for it.
This chapter is gonna make me angry. Finally, we heard the principal's bell ring. Finally, we heard the principal's bell ringing. The teacher came back with Satoko and Rika-chan at her side.
Alright, we're starting afternoon class. Class president, please. Everybody stand up. I'm sorry. How rude of me.
I couldn't read anything from Satoko's vaguely sheepish expression. Given the clouded look Rika-chan was wearing behind her, it was tough to laugh off the disquieting story I'd heard from Mion. I was gonna say, everybody seemed a little bit too happy, but then we got the shot of Rika, so...
Alright. First time in a while everyone's been here.
It's been 3 days.
Let's all have a roaring good time with the whole club.
Yeah, perfect. Indeed, in times like these, the best thing to do was obviously get rowdy and scheme against one another in a club activity.
Just what I was waiting for. Hey, Satoko-chan, let's play.
Calling it now, Satoko will go, oh sorry, I need to go directly home.
I was gonna say exactly the same.
And then Rika is gonna be like, oh yeah, me too. And she's gonna follow her, and then something's gonna go bad.
There was that game you liked, wasn't there? What was it again? It doesn't matter which. Tell me. Tell me!
Mion laughed happily, took a bunch of games out of a club locker and lined them up on the desks. I think that was the first time Mion ever let someone else decide on a game for her. I could tell she was being especially considerate to Satoko, thinking that whatever her circumstances, if we could just enjoy our time together as a group, that might be some comfort, some diversion. Satoko seemed to understand her feelings too and smiled vaguely, though pleased. But her head slowly moved from side to side.
I'm very grateful, but your feelings are enough. There are many things I need to do, so...
Even Rika-chan hung her head in remorse.
Hey, whoa! Seriously? All the club members are here for once and we're not playing anything? Desertion in the face of the enemy. What was the punishment game for it? What part of the club constitution was that in?
I'm not in favor of kidnapping children, but I really think somebody should grab Satoko and not let her go. And maybe call the police afterwards.
Satoko needs a hug.
Satoko needs bodyguards.
That too. But
Yeah.
first a hug. Stop it, Michan. We can't force her to play with us.
I mean, we can. We shouldn't, but we can.
Like, this old man isn't trying to force her or anything. I just thought it would be more fun for sure if we did something exciting.
Really? I'm happy you feel that way. Don't worry. Next time we meet, you'll see I'll catch you all. I'll get you. Really? I'm happy you feel that way. Don't worry. Next time we meet, you'll see. I'll get you all caught in a gigantic trap.
Satoko, while insulting us, still said she couldn't participate in the club today and apologized. She quickly put her things into her bag and pattered out into the hallway, disappearing. Follow her! Follow her! It all happened in the blink of an eye.
Satoko?
Rika-chan stared lonesomely as her friend hurried home, unable to be part of club activities. Silence filled the classroom. Both the cheerful voices of our classmates in the schoolyard and the voices of a cicada sounded like they were coming from some faraway world.
This is boring.
The silence was broken by Mion's bitterness as she began putting the games on the desk back into the locker. Everyone just stared absently at Satoko's seat, now empty.
Rika-chan, maybe you could tell us about it now?
Rena made Rena made as gentle a smile as she possibly could and spoke softly to Rika-chan. Even without hearing it from her, we pretty much knew the situation at this point. Satoko's uncle had broken up with his lover and came back home to Hinamizawa. And he had taken Satoko back home and forced her to do all the household work. And that all had to be pretty rough on her. Thinking this was common knowledge to everyone, I skipped to the important part. Is it really bad? Maybe Mion and Reina wanted to ask the same question. Nobody spoke, we all just stared, waiting for Rika-chan's reply. The more difficult it is to speak about this, I feel like the more important it is to actually do. Rika-chan still didn't answer us. We were hoping for her to say no, but her silence was a bad enough sign. Last year, was it? It was like this when both her uncle and his wife were here, right?
Yeah. At the time, they were mostly just being caught between their aunt and uncle fighting. One of the ways we helped out was with the club, by reducing her time at home as much as we could, but he's making her do the chores now, so she can't stay at school either.
How big does the place have to be, or how messy of a person does he need to be, that she needs to skip school for 3 days to clean up?
The house wasn't used in a long time, so it was probably completely covered in dust. That means you have to do a deep clean. And for a little girl, that can definitely take 3 days. We take a week.
I guess I'm a little girl too. Shit. Satoko's not a slave. Who do you think you are, ignoring your own inability to live properly and basically putting Satoko under house arrest? When you think about it, isn't this really strange? We'd need a lot of circumstantial evidence, but isn't this abuse? Can't we notify the police or something?
You're right. If we had evidence she was being abused, I think we could tell the police. And can't we talk to the region's welfare people about this?
Rin and I kept saying police, police, as though it were nothing, but Mion's response sounded like she thought we were a little naive.
It's easy for you to say that. Have you thought about the risks of actually getting proof?
What do you mean, risks?
I think it was 2 winters ago. We reported it to the Child Consolation Center. A consultation center.
I'm sorry, but that still worked, but for completely different reasons, and somehow that's worse.
Kinda. However, if you do believe someone is being abused and
Yes.
needs help,
Speak
do not
up.
collect proof.
No.
You don't even need to speak up, but report it.
That's what I mean, like, do something.
Just reporting it. Always think of your own safety as well. That is always top priority, but
Yes.
report it. We told them there was abuse happening and to do something right away. Huh? You did? What happened? The person came as soon as we called. She interviewed Satoko and Satoshi about what was going on. And then their uncle and his wife too.
I can understand asking Satoko and Satoshi, but wouldn't it be not so good to talk to the aunt and uncle?
They said they based their judgment on what they heard from both sides. Great of them, wasn't it? So, what did they decide to do? Wait and see.
What do you mean, wait and see?
The uncle really studied up on his stuff. By law, you can't call it abuse unless assault or child neglect has been established. They poked and prodded Satoko and Satoshi a lot, but it never left any real marks on them. They were pretty much eating 3 meals a day and had pets. And there weren't any recordings or something like that to prove they'd said or done anything to cause them physical trauma, or psychological trauma, sorry. None of the villagers had ever actually seen them being violent either. No matter how mean you are, you wouldn't act so violent in front of other people. Nobody would.
I mean, some people would, but that's like the worst of the worst.
Mia knows all about this.
Yes, which is why it would have been really nice if maybe she used her influence in, let's call it the dark arts, to try to find an alternative solution, especially given that the uncle was one of her employees.
Then, what happened? The welfare officer apparently went to visit on the same day each week for a while. The aunt and uncle knew they were being watched though, and didn't torment them in any way that would stand out. Of course, that wasn't the end of it. You mean they ramped up how malicious they were being? Also, why is Mian saying this all with a smile?
I think it's a cynical smile. You laugh so that you don't have to cry. Mion sighed and nodded.
Their aunt was really damn stubborn. She's one of the most spiteful people I've ever known. Apparently she was doing some pretty disgusting things. Satoko was like a doll that did nothing but breathe by the end of it.
So what? From that conclusion, does that mean they never should have contacted child welfare in the first place?
Understand? Without proof of abuse so clear anyone could see it, there's nothing we can do. In fact, it might even make the situation worse. We messed up pretty bad.
After hearing that even public organizations, the one thing they thought was dependable, couldn't do anything, everyone hung their heads.
In other words, until we have clear evidence of abuse, we shouldn't notify anyone? Rika is the evidence here.
Yes, exactly. Satoko. Let's start with Satoko.
Yeah, but especially as a younger victim, if you're asked, you will stupidly defend.
Yeah,
you won't admit it.
Because
Maybe
you also
you're
know
being
what happens
threatened.
if it comes out that you spoke up.
Exactly. fear is usually the biggest thing.
Also,
So you can't count on the actual victim of actually standing up for themselves in that moment.
yeah, out of fear, I get that. One thing I don't understand, I think I can explain it, but I just don't want to understand. People in Hinamizawa get killed for being an enemy of the town. And this guy is doing horrible things, has for years, to somebody you call your friend, and nothing happens? Like, I don't say being a vigilante and taking things into your own hands is the right thing to do. It isn't. It's bad. But how exactly do the important people in Hinamizawa make the decision who gets eaten next and who just gets grilled?
I think we're still going to learn that.
Because I would think, listen, if I am the, at the very least, borderline insane heir to the Sonozaki family, yeah? And I have no qualms with killing people if they slight me of a family clan. You know, I have to act my part. Then the people that attack my friends would be very high on the list.
No, you're thinking from an emotional point and
Yes.
not from a head of the family point that is responsible for the entire city.
Okay, no.
Like I said, we already know.
counterpoint. No, wait, counterpoint. This person was in the employment of a Sonozaki group, and now this person is abusing. Now, okay, she's 11 now. 2 years ago, she was 9. This asshole is abusing this 9 to 11-year-old little girl. I don't want people like this to be associated with a Sonozaki group, so I'm taking the trash out.
They already aren't anymore. Plus, they're doing it to it's a cursed family in general, so it doesn't really matter. He's not bringing it outside.
I really think the stupid idea of over Hojos are cursed is like blocking all of their potential ways that they could be helping through their Yakuza means.
Don't forget Mion's demon side. She deserves all of the misfortune that came her way because she's cursed and they brought this upon them.
Yeah, because the dad wanted to take the money from a legal money from a shitty situation and just try to live a happy life.
All Hojos are enemies for them, so they don't care. Exactly. And Mion can't just call a hit to protect an enemy. Agree. That's more important in the end. Plus, even if that wasn't the case, they were friends and this dude is up on the block to maybe be the possible victim. I think there would still be a weighing thing. Let's say the break-in in the ritual warehouse happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would still be considered more important than the dude abusing this seemingly random girl for them.
Yeah, but she's cursed, so fuck her, right?
Yeah, but if you
It's
take
her
the
fault.
cursed part away, let's say they weren't. I think the ritual storehouse would still have a higher importance if there is a choosing, and then they would still go for that. Because that deserves the more punishment.
I hate all of this.
I agree, but
Like, no matter which way I'm thinking the argument, like, I get all of these points, but even, like, I cannot find a clear path out of a situation that doesn't suck. And that makes me feel really bad.
well, I mean, basically, yeah.
Life is simply unfair, yeah.
It absolutely can be.
I considered Satoko's current situation. She was brought back to her house. It was a little difficult to call that abuse. The moment you're being brought to any place against your will, that's abusive. We can argue the legal terms, whether it's abuse or kidnapping or whatever, but it ain't good. I think we can all agree on that. She was being tormented and forced to do the chores. How she was being tormented would be the key, but without concrete evidence, it would be difficult to prove. If she had some kind of external injury, that would work. But as far as we could tell from today, she had nothing like that. And being forced to do the chores, that was a bit weak too. I'm sorry, malnourishment is not... That's proof? Like, that...
It's not a constant state. In this time and age though, this would be enough reason. Because keeping your child at home for 3 days because she needs to clean the house. On school days, especially.
I don't know how that is in Japan. In Germany, I believe it is law that you have to make sure your children go to school. Up until they're, I want to say 18. As long as they are supposed to be in school, legally they have to go to school. I don't know how that works in Japan.
I mean, in Japan is a different case fair. I don't know how it is there either. But even if your child misses a few days because it's sick, it's fine. But if they miss school to clean up, that's illegal.
Over here it would be. Yes. But then again, what's gonna happen if they now send the police to the house to, like, assuming that this is illegal in Japan at the time too, they're gonna send over the police, they're gonna... Finally it was your chair. That hasn't happened in a while.
That's true.
They're gonna send over a police car, they're gonna have a talk with Teppei, who is then gonna let it out on Satoko. I told you should have lied. There had to be better evidence that she was without a doubt being abused. I know. Her uncle had ignored Satoko's existence for a whole year and went to live with his lover in town. Didn't that fall under one of the definitions of abuse that Mion had mentioned? Child neglect.
Oh yeah, we kind of forgot the most logical thing. This 11-year-old girl has been living alone all this time, having to take care of herself.
In a shed. Yes.
We didn't even think of that, like that is already child neglect.
Yeah, sorry, we were so inundated with horribleness in front of us that we didn't see the tree for the woods. Yes.
Completely forgot the most obvious point. These girls living alone. Yeah. It's the perfect case of child neglect. What about that, Michan? If our uncle weren't here now, it could be recognized as child neglect.
What do you mean? The problem is that he came back? So,
The entire village knows that they've been living alone.
It was better when they were just gone for whatever reason, but then nobody would bring that up because that would make somebody return them into their lives. And now he is, and now he solved the issue of child neglect himself by... Oh my god.
Nah, it's not how it works. But he's living with her at the moment, isn't he? They were apart before, but if he said something like he had a change of heart and decided to live with her, then they might just, wait and see again. Also, this is not a discussion children need to have.
No. If you are ever in any doubt that something like this is happening to somebody you know, go to the police. Have that conversation with them and they will take care of it. If you're unsure who to get in touch with, Child Protective Services if kids are involved, or the police, just get in touch with either one. They will tell you. Like, they work together if need be. And it's definitely better than the Three Stooges over here going like, oh, I think the police would rule like that in this case. Like, I get it, they're concerned, but this is not something students should be taking care of. Once we reported it, we would need to be absolutely sure they'd interpret it as abuse. Maybe we needed far more concrete evidence, lest we repeat last year's mistake.
It's sad. This means we need to sit quietly and wait for him to be violent towards Satoko-chan and leave a mark, don't we?
The only plan I could think of was, in the end, just watching and waiting. It left me in shock when I realized that it would be the same policy as that of the officials who had made the situation worse. As Mion said, reporting it to a public agency would be a gamble. If we're going to pick a fight, it would have to be one we couldn't afford to lose. If we were gambling without enough money, without enough evidence, our defeat would be assured. If we took the time to amass enough money, that we could be sure of victory. And that would mean pretending we didn't see Satoko's plight for a considerable amount of time. Or you could, I don't know, talk to Satoko about this. Which is also not great, and I understand that it also comes with its own whole can of worms, of problems. But to go like, hey, we see, we know, and we want to get you out of this, but we need something to happen, I'm afraid. Apparently. Sorry for bringing this up now, but how is Rika-chan able to live by herself? Rika-chan had lost her parents, if I recall correctly. From what I'd heard, she had no relatives either. She was forced to live on her own as a result, but her life was unfettered, free of restriction. Also, how fucked up is Japan that this 11-year-old is forced to live by herself? Like,
I'm quite sure even in the 80s that was not a thing. I want to say that.
It's, I guess, ultimately, a lucky thing in the story that everybody in the village knows and loves her and helps out. So that, she doesn't live with family, she lives with another girl her age, but she has a roof, she isn't starving, there are people that check on them every now and then.
Also, don't forget, we keep comparing it to how it was in Japan or how it's in real life. We're talking about a cult village here.
Yeah, plus all of that, true.
The rules don't really apply here. They make their own rules.
If she could somehow grant that freedom to Satoko too. Rika-chan, you're living without any parents, right? Don't kids with no guardians have to go to orphanages and stuff?
Keiichi-kun, that's cruel.
I think it's a fair question, but it's a really shitty moment.
I don't want to say it's a shitty moment. It's not like we're going, oh, your parents are dead. How are you living in freedom?
Yeah, but somebody really young who lost their parents not too long ago, that's a very touchy subject is what I'm trying to say. I don't think there is a good moment to talk to an 11-year-old. Shouldn't you be in an orphanage?
Yeah, but I don't think that's cruel in that sense.
No, but...
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think cruel is a simple choice of words. It's more complex than that, but I'm not saying it to be mean. I only asked because I thought maybe there would be a hint to saving Satoko. Rika-chan, I'm sorry if I offended you. Rika-chan shook her head, not particularly disturbed.
Well, you see, it's because I'm considered the mayor's daughter.
The whose?
The mayor's daughter.
The major. This is now a military operation.
Did I say major?
Yeah.
Oh, well, mayor. Let me explain.
Oh god, we get meonsplaining. Why can't Rika tell us this?
The mayor, old man Kimiyoshi, is Rika-chan's guardian. He got official permission from the governor of the prefecture.
After the fact, or was he always like the godfather? Huh.
That's a press A situation.
So you adopted?
No, not adopted. You can be someone's guardian without being in the same family. Oh, I get it. Rika-chan lives by herself, but by law she's considered to live with the mayor, right? Yeah, basically. That's how Rika-chan avoids being sent to an orphanage. Actually, it would be child and family services, not an orphanage.
Why does Mion look so happy about this?
It's a cynical laugh.
Yeah.
Beep. I don't understand the heart things, but anyway, she's right.
Interesting you should say that, Mion. You can be someone's guardian even if they're another family? Then shouldn't we have a mayor or someone else become Satoko's guardian, if only on paper? Yeah, like Irie maybe.
Yeah, but he tried.
No, he tried to adopt. That's the difference. That's exactly what Keiichi just pointed out. There's adoption and there's being a legal guardian. Those are two different
fair.
things.
But I would almost think that the same rules might apply. But I have no clue about that.
Okay, but even then, like, get somebody who is eligible to become her guardian.
There aren't too many faces, restricted variety of art assets. Yeah.
But she has a neutral face. Like,
And a slightly worried one.
I get it, but there is a more neutral face that isn't going like,
The serious face.
orphans! You know, it's like, your family is dead.
Sipping on orphan tears.
Also, I'm trying to think if I was Keiichi. Would I ask my parents to consider stepping in? And like becoming the guardian or adoptive parents or whatever? Or
You're young, it's
asking them to
absolutely-
like live with us?
It's absolutely a thought you can have.
Like,
But let's see if they bring up Irie.
yeah, but real quick, this is something that happens in so many like shows and movies that it seems to me that I've never been in this situation as a kid or as a young adult myself, so I don't know what I would have done. But every time something like this happens in any form of media I've ever consumed, like the group of friends, most of which are usually underage, seem to try to want to solve the situation by themselves.
Which is also what they're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're trying in their own way.
But rarely, if ever, does one of them go, I'll talk to my parents about this.
Because that's not the teenage thing to do. The solution is never talk to your parents about it.
Okay, if here at My Favorite Letters X you're gonna learn one thing. If you have a problem, please seek help. And if that's your friends, cool. If you can't find any solution, if it's like a really big thing like this, if you're like 17, 18 or even younger, talk to your parents. If you can't talk to your parents, talk to another adult. You will find somebody you can talk to. Everybody has somebody they can talk to. A teacher, like somebody. But don't just like keep it in the hands of an 11-year-old, an 17-year-old, and like two 16-year-olds. Like, you don't even pay taxes. What are you gonna do? What can you do? Not that you don't want to, but you cannot do. Then she'd be in the same position as Rika-chan. And she could go back to her old life.
Too bad it won't work. I mean, her uncle is supposedly her guardian.
Wait a minute. You lost me there. What's a guardian exactly, anyway? In legal terms, a guardian and a parent weren't necessarily synonyms. So whoever was actually looking after her at home would be considered her guardian. Then her uncle isn't her guardian. He left Satoko by herself for so long.
If he insists he's her guardian, then that's it. It's been a few days since Satoko was taken back to her house. Her uncle's been paying for her meals since then, right? He's sort of looking after her, so he'd probably insist. And even though he abandoned her for a year, he'd already looked after her for the whole year before that. But the mayor doesn't have that kind of history. So then, if both the mean uncle and the mayor requested guardianship at the same time, the uncle would make more sense? They will always look for family first.
If only we would have, I don't know, people maybe in this particular room who have really influential friends in high places. Maybe they even share the same last name that they could ask to, you know, maybe move the odds a little bit.
We're not helping the Hojos. No, but he'd have a better chance. The term guardian refers to the person actually caring for her, right?
Okay, so Rika is Satoko's guardian. There. Now I created a dividing by zero situation in the Japanese law of Higurashi.
Can't have a minor be the guardian.
Exactly. Yeah, so what? You just implode. Like, you explain this to the police officer who comes by and their head just goes poof. Those families in high places hate the Hojos. I wish I will understand at some point in this game why they hate them. Other than one of them wanted to take the money and start a new life somewhere else.
That's already enough reason. There is your I want to understand.
You sound awfully Sonozaki, Vatifa.
The uncle actually has a bed and food for her, but the mayor would just have his name. It wouldn't even be a contest.
Then shouldn't the mayor just start caring for her for real? He'd be her guardian in name and reality if he did. We just need to shelter Satoko. That might lead to her uncle being desperate to take her back, but will stubbornly refuse him.
It won't be that easy. Satoko is a growing girl, you know? It's not like giving someone a cat. You're asking him to take care of a real person.
Then Coach. What about Coach? Coach, he's got a lot of money, right? He even said it himself. Even if he's not her real father, Coach could become her guardian. He would be great at taking care of her.
Stop that. Stop thinking of Satoko like a pet. All you're doing is talking about pushing her onto someone else.
Because I'm 15, I cannot be her guardian. Of course I'm pushing her onto somebody else, because outside of waiting for 3 years and then working my way up into a position where I could be considered to become her legal guardian, either she will be dead from abuse or she'll be old enough to be emancipated, I guess. It's like we need a solution now, not in years, Mion.
You need to think more seriously about how much responsibility it is to care for another human being.
Anything is better than the situation... most things are better than the situation she's currently in, I want to say.
Did you ask him? Did you get an actual promise from him that he'd take Satoko under his care? Yes.
No, I didn't. But Coach would definitely say yes.
Well, fine. Even considering the 0% probability of Coach saying it was okay, then what? It still wouldn't work. He couldn't become a guardian all by himself.
Ah, that's right. Coach, didn't he say it himself? He was alone, so he couldn't do it. Shit, what the hell? Why is being single such a disadvantage in this society? And all you could do is marry into a wealthy family, couldn't you?
Is there anyone that wealthy in Hinamizawa? I'm not sure.
See? It's not simple. It's hard to adopt someone. And you can't go into thinking you'll push Satoko onto someone else just for a little while. You're being naive, Kei-chan.
Also, real quick, who needs to marry somebody rich? Because Irie's problem isn't money, Irie's problem is social standing in Japanese society.
No, Satoko. I think.
Are you allowed to marry at 11?
I think with your parents' permission, the earliest is 14. I don't know if that's the same in Japan.
How old do you have to be to marry in Japan? 18 years or older. A person who's under 18 cannot get married in Japan without a parent's approval. I was thinking of looking that up because she wouldn't get approval because, you know, the uncle is the problem.
That is true. Yomo! UK Madden and raging time.
Welcome
How are you
Yomo
doing?
and viewers. We're Jack and Tifa. And we're playing the wonderfully happy fun game that is Higurashi. Since it's a visual novel and it's all story, if you do want to play Higurashi at some point yourself, spoilers galore. Everything you see is spoilers. You just need to be aware of that. But everybody welcome in. Yomo, how are you doing? How was your stream? You played Cult of a Lamp when I was able to drop by for a moment earlier. How was it?
How was the game? I do remember you've played that more often. Is that... I don't know a lot about the game. Is that something you can keep going or does it have an end? Because I think last year, 2 years ago, I recall you also playing it.
How old is Cult of a Lamp now? Cult of
Cult of the Land is a bit of an older game by now.
You're a bit of an older game by now.
6 years at least, I think.
Cult of the Lamb got released in August 2022. You are at least 6 years old.
Maybe not. Never mind.
Time is wibbly wobbly ever since the pandemic. It's weird. For me, like in my heart, it's still April 2020. I've just somehow aged 4 years and met all of you wonderful people.
It felt so long ago.
It was fun, got some good progress. Nice. It technically has an end, but lots of new content now.
Oh, nice.
Wasn't there this whole like weird shenanigans last year that Unity, the people that make the Unity engine, did this like super fuckery stuff with their like terms and conditions, and the Cult of the Lamb developers were like, we're gonna take the game offline, or we're not gonna sell it anymore since up until after, can't speak, the 1st of January, but it's still being sold, right? So they ended up not doing well.
Or it's just no more reprinting.
No, you can still buy it. It's still there. Okay, so...
Probably not.
I do know that the Unity people, they did backtrack with like, oh no, it was just misunderstandings. We would never do these things. Sorry, we did the bad things. But then it would make sense. Why would you stop selling a game that is beloved by so many people? That sells really well.
I still kind of want to play the game. I haven't checked it out myself yet, but the graphics are so cute.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Steam page right now. It
looks adorable. And from the bits I've seen you play, that's so cute.
We could play it at some point. Make it the Cult of the Egg.
Oh, good work.
And then our followers would all be perfect beings. And that's not me being high on my own farts. That is a callback to Digimon. I mentioned it a while ago, we started watching the Digimon anime. We're in season 2 now.
Oh, now
and just
I get it.
today, yeah, deep cuts, really deep cuts.
Yeah.
We saw the episode where, what's it called? Digitamamon? Digitamamon. One sec. Yes, Digitamamon shows up. Digitamamon, for those of you that don't know and don't want to Google, is basically an egg with legs. But for some reason...
And a little peeping hole that he can close in the shell.
Yeah, don't ask how the shell just closes when it's anime, it can. But Digitamamon, as per the the Digidex...
Did you say Pokedex? Wow.
Is considered a perfect Digimon. And then I told Tifa, of course it's perfect because it's egg.
Couldn't have been anything else.
I don't know why eggs are perfect in the Digimon world, but I mean, we kind of are. At least I am. You're trying. But I'm happy to hear you've had fun.
Thank you so much for the raid as well. How have you been in general?
In general?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not just how was the stream, but just...
My mind works in weird ways. Earlier, instead of mayor, you read major. So,
true.
For some dumb reason, I cannot explain this. My mind just works like this. I had major, now I had in general, and I was starting to see like camouflage patterns. My mind went onto a weird association game of military things. I don't know why. I don't know anything about the military. I skipped the draft in Germany. I didn't skip. Did I ever mention that story? Oh, real quick, because I just brought up.
Is there any way we can take a short break first before you go into that story? Because I kind of gotta go to the bathroom.
I need 30 seconds. And if there's a break in between, I'll forget it, but it's not funny anymore.
Oh, that's shocking. Well, go for it.
Back when I was coming of age in Germany, we started a draft system where everybody that turned 18 got a letter at some point like, hey, please come to the Bundeswehr, the German military, for a checkup, and then we can see where you would go into the military. And I went there and I spent 5 hours there, 4 hours in the psych ward, because I really didn't want to go. and I made it very clear to them. And in the end, they told me, yeah, you are not fit to be military material. Please never come here again. Please never consider joining service. You are not fit for this in any way, shape or form, starting with your body, which is a wreck, and ending with your psyche. So thank you and goodbye.
All I see in this story is a, son, you're 8 now. It's time to join the military.
8?
Yeah, you said 8 at first.
Oh, yeah.
Before you corrected yourself to 18.
Yeah, that's how badly the German military needed people. We get drafted when we're 8. I was 18.
Yomo, go get some food.
Yes, please. Do
Thank
eat.
you so much again. Enjoy your meal.
Yes, I was exempt from the
Appreciate
draft
it.
before they made it optional. Nice. I mean, if you want to become part of the military, you can just go there and tell them, and then they'll do the stuff with you. But if you don't want to, then good for you. And for some reason, Tifa really needs to go for little ladies. So, PRB. If she ever presses a button. Save a line, Tifa.
We're back.
So, real quick, first of all, yeah, we're back. Apparently, like 2 days ago, Monday, when I was at the gym, I must have pulled something. At the gym, I felt perfectly fine. Yesterday, I felt perfectly fine. Today, around noon or something, I'm trying to like move my arms, and like the muscles here, like between your shoulder and your chest, they are so sore, so tense. Like, oh, like
Why do you do that?
I can't, like, I cannot move my arms back. Like, let me try like this. If I move further, I will whimper like a dog being kicked.
You know, it's okay. There's no need to rush yourself to look like the hot mailman so fast.
Yeah, for those of you that didn't see on Discord, I ordered protein powder because I need protein and I'm a vegetarian, so I really need that. Because my diet is bad. Ordered 10 kilos, like 20 freedom unit pounds. And I felt bad because that's a heavy, big package. And today the doorbell rang and I already like prepared mentally to like, hey, sorry for the heavy package. I opened the door and with like 2 or 3 steps, this person strides all the way from the building entrance to the apartment door like an elegant deer on stilts. I look at this person and this guy looks like the Giga Chat, except maybe a year younger. He's wearing the skin-tight shirt, like his postman uniform, and he looks like his body is hewn from Italian marble. And I look at him, and I'm trying to take the package because it's heavy, right? And then with one hand, he has package, big. He holds it with one hand, moves it to the side. He's like, no, I'm sorry, I need a signature from you first. And he does it with his like cool motion and the sexy voice. And I'm like, yes.
Yes, senpai.
And then I took the package and I was like, have a nice day. He's like, yeah, you too. And then again, with 2-3 strides of his long-leggedness, he vanished off into the distance.
The moment I saw your message on Discord and I read the hot mailman, I knew exactly who you meant.
Like, I think I'm heterosexual, but that guy was hot. Like,
Yeah, Henry Cavill material.
No, Henry Cavill is another level. This is not meant disrespectfully, but it's gonna sound like this. The male guy is Henry Cavill from Wish. Like, he is good looking.
Not Wish though, he's a really good quality knockoff.
Yeah, but Henry Cavill is like...
Yeah, okay, but he's not Wish. He's not Wish.
But Henry Cavill is like... Oh, that must... I think I'm hetero, but... No, I don't see him in a sexual way, but more like a unhealthy mix of envy and cursing my own genetics. because why didn't I pay more attention to my physical fitness and look like this at that age, you know?
Because it sucks.
Yeah, but now I have a new goal, you know? I don't want to be with him, but I want to look kind of like him. Does that make sense? Yeah. I want to just take packages and go like, yeah, no worries, here, just take it. I only get a cramp in my elbow if I have my hands on my phone for too long.
Wait,
Oh,
hands?
yeah. For me, it's the same because the corner of my phone pushes like into like this part of my palm, and that like cuts off blood circulation.
I mean, makes sense.
Something like that. Close enough. I do feel the phone-induced pain.
You have muscle in this
Yes.
part that you also work out. Do I work that out?
Yes, you do when you grab things. While Tifa kindly destroys the camera focus. Yeah, every move you do moves a muscle. That's why you're moving. They should be called movesells, not muscles, because when muscles make you move. No,
We can call them muscles from now.
that sounds horrible.
It really does.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it's not called that.
Anyway, oh look, Higurashi.
Back to abuse.
Shit, damn it, what the hell? Oh, I should click into the game. I'm desperately thinking of how to save Satoko, and all you're saying is no. Don't you care about Satoko at all? Are you even worried about our friend one bit? What do you have to say for yourself?
I didn't mean that.
Yeah, then stop giving me problems, give me solutions.
But it just won't be that easy, and...
Just because it won't be easy doesn't mean it doesn't need to be done. It's not that difficult a problem. We just need to have some rich people look after Satoko for a while, that's all.
Rich people. Do I live in a giant standalone house
That
and
was specifically built for the 3 people living in it.
have a semi-famous dad? Do I know any rich people? What a shame.
Wouldn't it be really funny if maybe the person that would fit the description you just started, like, already had like some sort of connection to her, almost like she felt towards him like she did for her older brother.
That would have been so convenient, right?
Yeah, really.
It really sucks. Why are we working class?
If only such a person existed.
Yeah, if only.
Right, what about your family, Mion? You always brag about how great it is being one of the 3 families or whatever, don't you? From what you've said, you must live in a gigantic house. Okay, real quick, sorry to hate. I'm sorry when I hate. Sorry to break the pacing, but the 3 families are now an established thing.
Yeah, true. We have never actually heard it say in a conversation between them. My house? No, that won't happen. My grandma would never allow it.
Your grandmother wouldn't even see Satoko. You have a mansion on a mountain. You own the mountain.
Wouldn't it be nice if there was like a cave system with rooms in it?
Where you could even hide her if you needed to. So Nozaki's for Kimiyoshi's and for Furude's.
Yes.
Then what about your relatives in Okinomiya? From what I've heard, they're living in luxury themselves. There's plenty of shops your relatives manage in town too. Your family are basically millionaires, aren't they?
No, that won't work. Going to Okonomiya is even more out of the question. My father, he'd never let it happen, ever.
Hey. Normally you act like some high and mighty bigwig and now you're being all spineless? What the hell? Are you just going to sit by and watch Satoko suffer?
No, I don't. But, I mean, I want to help her as much as you. But that's a different story.
Yeah, it really freaking sucks, no? If you think you're trying to be helpful and a person keeps shooting you down and then suddenly you do the Uno reverse card and you pull the same crap on them. You're both just trying to help, but now you made each other feel like shit because you keep finding reasons why the other plan wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, I get it. Emotions run high.
I wouldn't call those rooms. Listen, if I had to hide somebody from their abusive family member, I would offer them a room in my kink dungeon. Maybe I would make it look a bit nicer and not like kink dungeon. But you know, at least it's safety away from the abusive person. How is it a different story? How can you be so cold-hearted? Your friend is in trouble. What are you if you don't rescue her? You are our president, our club president. Save her. Save her from this crisis. If you don't save her right now, you're not her friend. You're not even a human. I don't know if you have any humanity left in you. Are you listening to me, Mion? If I can put my PC in there, I'll live in a cave, no problem. Exactly, just need a power cord.
A little box like this big is enough, with internet and power plugs.
And a light.
Actually, that's not a like maybe this, so I can still turn. Like the screen gives you light.
My emotions all exploded out of me, and I didn't even give her a chance to say anything in response. I just wanted to make Mion agree with me, even if I had to force her. If she did, Satoko's problems would be solved. If pushing her would solve the issue, then I'd push her as much as I needed to. Why aren't you saying anything anymore? I'm asking you, asshole. Well, say something, Mion Sonozaki. I get the emotion, but this is not helpful.
He's going a bit too far. Me?
No, I don't think it's... I think it's... I don't think she's got hiccups now. Displaced aggression. Is that the right term? Then that. You're just so angry at the problem,
It's understandable. It sucks if you don't have a solution. You feel like others might, and they don't. Emotions will run high.
And instead of solutions, they just tell you no, problems. Mion, looking down with a grim face, began sobbing. Her hands were clenched into trembling fists, and she rubbed her eyes to wipe away the tears. Was what I said actually that mean? Yes, Keiichi, it really was. This isn't the time to cry. We're in the gambling room now, and we have to do something to save Satoko. And as I thought that, Reina spoke, her voice cold and incredibly calm.
Keiichi-kun, if Michan's family won't work, then what if we look for another wealthy family? I know someone in Hinamizawa who lives in a nice big house.
Who's that?
Oh, come on. You've got a splendid family, and you're leaving it out of things?
My family? My family is...
This is kind of deserved.
Yeah.
No, deserved is actually the wrong word, but he's cashing in.
On the level of just this argument, this is 100% deserved. Because if we're just flinging shit at each other, if you can dish it out, you gotta be able to take it. In terms of solution, yeah, I also agree with that, Rob.
Yeah, she's spitting out the exact same things that he...
Yeah. And
that
hey,
he spit out himself.
We just said this.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, but not in my backyard, playing hot potato with a friend pet. Yes.
You're friends, right? Save her, Keiichi-kun. Michan is cold-hearted after all. Since you are so considerate towards friends, you should lead by example.
Reina's not taking this crap.
Just the three of you are living in that huge house, right? Then you've probably got plenty of spare rooms. You should just give a few of the empty ones to Satoko-chan. And then her worries would all be over.
Oh, and Rika-chan.
What's this? We're done already? That was pretty quick. Okay, great. Congratulations on solving the problem. Then are we done for today? I'm going home. Hooray! Hooray! Maybe I'll go treasure hunting. I haven't done that in a while.
That is true.
So what's your plan?
Reina is... Whenever Reina isn't being a psychopath, she is so savage. Like underneath all of that calm cuteness, She is such a beast and I love it. And I wish this was all Reina is. I could do without the whole like, yes, Keiichi, I will murder you with my hatchet.
Unfortunately, we've seen the start of her in this chapter already.
Yeah. Reina's sarcasm is harsher than whatever Keiichi just said. Yes.
But it boils down to exactly the same.
The thing
which
is...
Which makes it even worse.
Like, it is so human when you're being faced with this impossible situation and you're talking to people who you trust and that you want to find solutions with, and all they keep doing is shitting on your like ideas. Not because anything against you, but because they have criticism about it. And when you lash out, that doesn't make you the better person. It just makes the situation shittier if you let that emotion get to you and you just lash out in anger. Nobody wins.
I was so worried about Satoko-chan until now that I didn't feel like going to play at all. I wonder what I'll find today. Say something, will you? Why am I the only one talking? Say something, you bastard! Are you listening, Keiichi Maebara?
Speaking of.
Even the cicadas seem to cower in fear. Reina, her shoulders bobbing up and down, and me, who had forgotten to breathe. Mion, whose face had gone completely pale, and Rika-chan, who was keeping silent as if nothing had happened. The atmosphere in the classroom grew tight and stiff, and it petrified us where we stood.
Rattle.
The sound of a chair as Reina sat back down after having stood up finally allowed everyone present to take a breath. Reina had shown me just how much I'd hurt Mion.
Reina's scary.
After a few moments, Rika-chan cut into her frozen air.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Rika-chan. Mi-chan, I'm sorry to you too. I don't have to apologize to you, do I, Keiichi-kun?
I love her so much. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being so unreasonable.
Were you saying all that to me before? You said it while glaring at Mi-chan, so I totally thought you were talking to her.
Thank you for apologizing to me, Keiichi, but haven't you forgotten somebody? Reina had such strength that you wouldn't have imagined it normally. All I did was spout terrible things as a wave of violent fury passed over me. I couldn't contend with her. Mion, I'm sorry. I lost my cool. Come to think of it, I didn't understand what had gotten me that riled up. I thought of myself as Satoko's Nini. So I only had good intentions. Then I think about it a little harder than everyone else, and yet...
It's okay. You were worrying with everything you had, but all I was saying that nothing would work. So I'm sorry. I did something wrong too.
Mion rubbed away the tears at the corners of her eyes with her fists and apologized as well. We bowed our heads to each other and looked down without glancing at the other. Everybody sucks here, except maybe Reina. And
it comes
Rita.
from a place of love.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating if you feel helpless.
Yeah. You know how they say shared pain is half the pain? You know, when you talk to somebody, it's going to make you feel better. In moments like these, it multiplies. But I mean, ultimately, they do have a solution technically. Talk to your families about this. Go like, hey, I have a friend who's really in need. Misery loves company. That's a good one. I mean, it's not good, but you know, it works. Yeah. Someone, I don't know who, heaved a sigh. Satoko being tormented had been known about since last year. How had The tragedy back then saved Satoko. How had they brought it to an end? Right. In the end, nobody could do anything. All they could do was bear it patiently and wait for those agonizing days to end. That's right. The one who brought an end to those terrible days was some crazy drug addict nobody knew. On the night of Watanagashi last year, their mean aunt had been beaten to death. But it hadn't been done to save Satoko or Satoshi. Right. It really was just a coincidence. Satoko's friends, who needed to do something for her most of all, could do nothing. The incident may have been a tragic one, but from Satoko's viewpoint, it was nothing less than a miracle. Yes, a miracle. A miracle one could only wait for. Is waiting all we can do? Not for evidence of abuse, not for something that minor.
Huh? Wait, for what?
A miracle. No one made fun of me for using such a crazy word. We couldn't come up with any solutions, so it was the only thing we could do.
We're powerless.
That one word Mion dropped was the finishing blow. It was hot. My body was sticky with sweat. The worst month, June. I don't get this. I mean, I do get it from a 15-year-old's perspective, but you are not powerless. You can literally go home and talk to your parents. Your refusal to overcome whatever it is that makes you not want to do that. That's your powerlessness.
It's not even considered an option.
Yeah, why not?
Because if we can't solve it, they can't, obviously.
Yeah, but, like, why not?
It's the teenage way of thinking.
Is this potentially also one of those, like, Japanese culture things? That, like, you wouldn't ask? I don't know.
That's not a Japanese culture thing. That's a very normal teenage culture thing worldwide. Also, the thing that's been bothering me about this image for a very long time.
Oh my god.
Is the fact that that wall is broken.
Which wall?
There, of the house we're looking at the door, on the left side. There's a couple of planks missing.
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm pretty sure that's the new Satoko house.
No, but every time this image is there, those planks have been missing.
Yeah. This is more like a run-down kind of house. And if at some point we're gonna use this as the left part of a building at least with... Actually, I think this is one house.
This is not on the shrine grounds.
Yeah, it's the Satoko house now.
Oh yeah, wait.
As in with the
that was
uncle.
never on the... Yeah.
If you check in the background, on the right-hand side, the building with the white wall and the, like...
The
what color
closed.
is that, like, rust? This, like, rust-ish color. Also has, like, wooden beams nailed to the window. So I think this is the bad part of Hinamizawa.
Apparently, yes.
I walked forward quite a ways and turned right where the rice fields ended. I'd never come here before, so I had no idea where to go. I got lost several times, so I may have taken quite a long way around. Maybe I should have gone back home and gotten my bike first. It would have made everyone else worry if I'd asked them, so I asked one of our other classmates where Satoko's actual house was. That house was originally her family's, apparently, not their uncle's and his wife's. Their house had been bigger, so they had taken it for themselves. Right here. Several houses all in a line. Over there? I was visiting Satoko's house, but didn't particularly intend to meet her there. I didn't mean to spy on the enemy, her uncle, either. Maybe I just wanted to be a little closer to her, as her Nini. Pretty words, but I didn't know if they were true. if what Tomita-kun and the others told me was right, it'd be this house? When I recognized it, my feet grew heavy. What did I come here for? My motive for coming here was absurd. When Mion had said at the end that we were powerless, it made me sort of frustrated. I just wanted to do something, anything other than waste the days away praying for a miracle. That's what made me come here. But that was all. Even if I were to witness her uncle actually tormenting Satoko, what could I do? Would I act like a comic book hero, punch the guy in the face and take Satoko away with me? And then live together somewhere far away? That was ridiculous. I'm not saying you should punch the guy, but you could grab Satoko and go to your house and talk to your parents. I'm powerless. The cicada's voices, raised in chorus, sounded like they were scoffing at me. As though they were saying that if I couldn't do anything and wouldn't do anything, then I should go back home. You really should, because if a guy sees you and Satoko blabs or reacts in a wrong way, she's gonna get it and you're in trouble too. I'll just punch 2x.
Did it help?
I feel much better, yes. I forgot about the entire domestic abuse plot. I had a car approaching, so I got out of its way.
So is she.
But the car stopped right behind me, its horn honking shortly once. Annoyed, hadn't I gotten out of her way? I looked behind me, and a familiar face was looking at me out of a driver's seat's window. Of course it's Ooishi. Oh! It's Coach. Okay, did not expect that.
I was just thinking, does he have a new car? But
this is
not
the
Ooishi.
same car. This is the same shot as in chapter 1 with Oishi's car, right?
No.
Just here the car is white, not black.
I was gonna say, Ooishi does not have a white car. It's probably the same shot though, yeah.
Coach. Hello, Maebara-san. I unexpected to meet you all the way out here. Do you live nearby? Me being here wasn't normal. Just as I considered somehow giving him the slip, I noticed Satoko sitting in the passenger seat. Satoko? This breaks my heart, and it's just a simple image, you know? Satoko got out of the car and began unloading a lot of groceries from the trunk.
I happened to run into Coach on my way back from shopping. He said he'd bring me home, so I accepted his offer.
She wouldn't have been able to carry all those groceries on her bike. As Coach spoke, he pulled Satoko's bike out from the back seat where they'd put it. The grocery bags were big, and there were 4 of them. They all seemed to be packed full and very heavy. Those bags. 7 smart. Hey, isn't that a little too far to go by bicycle? I looked at the bags and saw that they were filled to the brim with sake bottles, snacks that you'd eat with sake, and boxes of cigarettes. Their weight was one thing, but their contents were nothing less than luxury items.
I made it thanks to Coach. He helped me out. It was a little difficult going up those hills.
I'm begging you, Irie. Put the kid back in the car and start driving. Just keep driving. Just go. Satoko gave Coach a smile filled with gratitude, but it was incredibly awkward and even heartrending. Satoko, these groceries aren't for dinner tonight, are they?
Of course not. I do not drink sake, and I hate snacks.
Hate snacks?
Of course I don't smoke either.
They're snacks specifically to go along with alcohol.
Fair enough.
You know? I'm pretty sure Satoko doesn't hate all types of snacks. Suddenly, Suddenly I don't feel bad for Satoko anymore because she doesn't like snacks.
Like, who ate snacks? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no. And now I see how she's cursed, and honestly, all the Hojos deserve it.
No wonder.
You know,
There's the explanation you were looking for.
justice. My nose is really itchy. Can you scratch my nose?
Where?
The tip. Ow. Tifa, really?
Didn't work though?
Am I bleeding? You used your nail.
How else do I scratch?
Tifa's nails are basically like serrated blades.
I don't
It's
know.
like a chainsaw, kind of.
See, it's not that bad.
Now my nose is itchy and it hurts.
Wait, let me do this.
No, go away. I'll just sit here and keep scratching my nose like a weirdo. Don't you do the face, Psycho? She doesn't like snacks. Like, what else do you need? Today the court hears the case of Irie versus Teppei Hojo. Teppei, your statements. Satoko doesn't like snacks. Guilty. He made Satoko go to a distant store by herself on her bike. So she could buy dumb shit like this. And what was the uncle doing right now anyway? He must have been working up a good sweat at this very moment if he needed to send Satoko out by herself, right? If not, then how much had Satoko suffered for no reason? I hadn't intended to voice my feelings, but they may have made it into my face. Coach might have noticed because he clapped me on the shoulder. Just then, one of the house's windows clattered open and the face of a vulgar man, the very sight of which made me immediately avert my eyes, emerged from within it.
Getting his own character art?
There were no self-introductions necessary. My gut told me that this was the uncle in question. The first thing out of his mouth should have been words of gratitude for Satoko. I was not looking forward to it. Okay, he's a drug addict and he sends her to get lots of alcohol, so I'll give him a slur. And warning, the only way I know how to do the alcohol slur is to go completely overboard.
Nah, that doesn't fit.
Yeah, it does.
Nah, it's too much then.
Satoko! Left feet with the sake on when you left your half-wit?
That's not how you usually do your slur. Thought you were going like that.
Why are you such a hater? I took your criticism on the fly and I tried to do something, and that's not good enough.
Yeah, but that's why I'm
First
saying
you take my segues and then you take my alcoholism slurs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought you were going like that, but then that's fine.
Oh, when you see him, you'll know how he sounds. I want to see him right now.
We do have character art.
Okay, no, it's not a spoiler, but can you tell me, is it soon that we see him? You can't do a worse enough voice for him. Okay, I'll give it my all to make you really hate it.
I'm sorry, but you told me to go right away.
Shut up! I've gone to ruin it. That was the good stuff too. What'll you do about it?
I'm sorry.
Sadako miserably apologized over and over, bowing again and again. She could be perfectly described as a small animal. I had no idea what was happening. Sadako finished shopping for all this heavy stuff. It wasn't even for dinner. She only managed to come back because she ran into Coach and he drove her home. If she hadn't been found by him, she'd surely still be by herself, panting and moaning, pedaling her bicycle up that steep hill. What was with those words, those horrible, sleazy words that he said to Satoko? In what country's dictionary did it tell him to say such things to a young girl who just finished shopping? My anger, of course, wouldn't reach him. The uncle displayed no interest in me, instead shouting at Coach. No! This is Dr. Irie. Hello! Why don't you come on inside too?
You're going too much.
No, not enough. We're in the last round, so you can get in right away. 100 yen per 1,000 points and anything goes. No, I'll pass. Thank you. I just went to Satoko-chan and gave her a lift, that's all. I'll be leaving now. Nah, come play around. You've got a lot of money, yeah? Remember, you're supposed to hate him.
No, I just think the slur's a bit too much if he's not too drunk.
But how do we know? Exactly. Snacks at Go Osaka include vegetable juices, fried foods, and shellfish. Vegetable juice. Like, I think I've tried sake once, many decades ago, and I didn't care for it. But I find this super interesting because I've never considered that a drink goes with a drink. Knock back some Clamato. Oh my god.
Clamato juice is like the nastiest shit. For those that don't know, Clamato juice is...
It's been years.
We had a discussion about that on stream.
Very early on,
a long one.
into when we started streaming, we had a whole big rant about Clamato juice. And actually,
went on for like half an hour.
Wait, yeah, no, Jack Salt is the best. You wanna do it?
You wanna Google Clamato juice while you're listening?
Don't Google. Listen to us. Tifa's being a hater. I will tell you. At some point, I'm gonna be disrespectful to a bunch of people, and honestly, you all deserve it. You might be really good people, but your taste is disgusting. So, for you, Psycho, and everybody else that has never heard of Clamato juice, at some point, you know, somebody in the world decided, I'm really hungry, I live by the water, or what's this weird thing in the sea? Oh, it's a clam, I'ma eat it. Okay, you know, people gotta live. And at some point, people grew tomatoes, and when they realized, oh, there's like liquid in them, I can drink that, it kind of tastes like tomato, that's tomato juice. But at some point, some sick fuck looked at a clam and looked at a glass of tomato juice and thought to themselves, you know what the world needs? A refreshing drink of tomato juice, clam, ground into powder and put in there with spices. And they call it a juice.
Clamato juice.
It's basically a clam tomato soup, but it's a drink. And some people drink this unironically.
I've got a clam. I've got tomato.
Disgusting.
Juice. That's the OG story.
The worst kind is the kind that's spicy or mixed into beer. People put Clamato juice into...
Are you shocked?
No, listen. Anything that exists is gonna be beloved by somebody. Anything. No matter how many people hate it. I get that.
This takes a special crowd.
That's just human. But it does not need to exist.
For the love of God, press A. That's kind of how I imagined.
Clamato juice drinking redeem when? Never, because I will not drink a clam. I'm a vegetarian. Are you thinking about it?
No.
You would have to pay a lot of money for me to ever consider touching that. Like, the only way at this point in my life you could ever make me drink that is if it's like a charity event and you put down like 50 grand.
Like, I have an appreciation for topics that are on the nasty and the yucky fuck side. But if there's one thing I've never been curious about, it's weird food items or things that just seem like, ew.
Yeah, I know.
That's... I can skip past on that. So I know I have no need or even a curiosity on what Clamato juice tastes like.
You know what's beautiful? This music completely, accurately describes my feelings towards Clamato juice. It's this like...
Chill, relax.
No, emotional, soft sadness. It's like, why? Thank you for derailing the stream download. It's been so long. I didn't even understand what her uncle and coach were talking about. But I knew one thing for sure. None of what he just said had been to thank Satoko in any way. Satoko, could you bring us the damn snacks? And start getting those beers chilled too. Go get us some cold ones from the fridge.
Taechan, you're so harsh on her. She looks so sad. You should take better care of her.
This is how I gotta treat her. She's been like this since she was with my bro. Spoiler, and she ain't gonna listen to a damn thing you say. Shit.
Whatever, it's your draw, Taechan. Tsubaki-san declared Richie too. I be smiling.
Sorry. What, you and Richie again, Tsubaki? It looked like it wasn't just her uncle. Some of her friends were over. Some of his friends were over. Think this means they're playing Mahjong.
Sounds like it, yes.
They could also be playing Tekken and were describing martial arts moves for all I know. Hey, wait. What was he? No, what were they doing? Flinging rude words left and right. Making Satoko go shopping for your beer. What were they doing?
My uncle's friends came from town, and they're playing mahjong. He told me to prepare dinner for them as well.
What the hell? Mahjong. He called his friends over for Mahjong. They were too busy playing, so they sent Satoko to buy them a crapload of booze from a faraway store. And the first thing he said to her was how she left the gas on. What the hell? What the hell? What does that guy think he's doing? Who could get lost in some dumb game of Mahjong and send Satoko to buy all the stuff? Even though Coach was listening, he pretended he wasn't. There was a line of heavy-looking shopping bags lined up on the ground next to the trunk. I borrow some new help too, please. Yo boy, you get to carry this heavy one. Coach! You gonna let this slide? This is completely... Coach pretended he hadn't heard the violent outburst either. When I thought about it later, his reaction might have been the best thing he could do in that situation. I'll carry two of them myself. Come on. Help us carry them, please. The bags were packed to the brim with bottles of sake and bar snacks. Supplies is too lazy to turn off a stove, too. Wouldn't it be a shame if somebody accidentally left the gas on and it's been so long that one of them lights a cigarette and the whole house with them goes poof? Again, I'm not condoning the murder, death of people, but I have a hard time mourning some of them. They were so heavy and so filthy, so unfair. They weren't just heavy in terms of weight, they made me feel mortified. Nothing could have been heavier than that.
Keiichi-san, there's no need to push yourself. I'll carry it.
Satoko mistook my biting back the humiliation as grimacing under the weight and offered to help. Stupid. Don't underestimate me. Satoko had never looked down on my physical strength in the slightest.
Coach, I'm sorry for you too. It must be heavy.
No, not at all, answered Coach, smiling vaguely, coolly. But I alone knew. Coach was an adult, so he just knew how to keep his feelings from showing. There was even more anger than I was feeling, burning deep in his eyes. Well, it is heavy. Shit! It wasn't very far to the doorstep of Satoko's house, but the bag squeezed my palms and started leaving red marks. Fury welled up within me and the back of my throat stung. But even if it all came gushing out, it wouldn't solve anything. So, just tightly gritting my teeth was as much as I could do.
Really? Thank you so much. Both of you. You really helped me here.
After we carried him to the back door, Satoko said that was enough. Occasionally we'd hear the repulsive laughing of her uncle and his friends from within, and my insides would seethe. I knew they weren't ridiculing us, and that was why it made me so mad. That made Satoko shop for all this heavy, selfish stuff, then ignored her and laughed amongst themselves as they pleased. It was deeply aggravating. Of course, Coach had to have felt the same way. But if he accidentally let his feelings slip onto his face, he'd only cause Satoko more worry. He knew all that and spoke coolly, as if to say he didn't care. Not at all. I'm happy I could be a bit of help for you. If there's anything I can help you with, please tell me.
Yes. I really am happy you feel that way.
But he feels that way. Those words were sad. Satoko herself was sad and resigned that we could only help her so much. But she was right. No matter how much Kocho I want to help Satoko, this was as much. This was as. This is the first time in a long while that we're going through a story bit where I think I actually feel angrier than the character whose lines I'm reading. No matter how much Kocho I want to help Satoko, this was as much as we could do. I felt absolutely ashamed at not having the power to help her any more than this. Burning, boiling emotions were bubbling up within me and rising into my throat. Trembling all over, I almost started to cry from my fury. Me too. If there's anything I can do, I'll help you whenever you need. So, hang in there. I wanted to at least give her those trite words, saying that I'd help her whenever she wanted.
Yes. Thank you very much. I'm happy just that you came all the way here when you didn't need to.
Satoko seemed to have guessed what I was doing in a place like this, when my house was in the opposite direction from school.
Alright. You should get going. They're drunk right now, so there's no telling what they'll get mad at you for.
She felt guilty getting us involved after we'd helped her, because she wanted to be the only one to suffer this misfortune. That's how it looked, and it hurt. I handed my supermarket bag over to Satoko. And then I noticed the back of Satoko's hand. There was something that looked like a bruise. Feels too real, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it really does. Hey, Satoko, what the heck is that bruise? I knew as much as anyone else how transparent that sounded. I didn't need to hear it from Satoko to know how this bruise came to be.
I just slipped on the stairs and hit it a little. Please, pay it no mind.
Grab her under the arms, put her in the car, grab Keiichi, get him in the car, and start driving.
In the end, that will give you more trouble.
You're lying! Coach nudged me in the back. Then he put his index finger to his mouth to chide me for being so loud.
Really, thank you so much. Until tomorrow. I hope we can see each other at school.
That's not what I'm talking about. I asked you how you got that bruise on your hand. The evening glow finally got to a point where I could see the other concealed oval-shaped bruises and traces of swelling on her neck and her legs, and other places too.
fall down the stairs.
The very moment my violent, rampaging emotions were about to burst their way out of my throat, I found my mouth being tightly clamped down on. Coach was pressing down on my mouth from behind, wrapping around me tightly with his hands. Because of that, I couldn't say anything. I could only groan, which I did. That was all I could do. I needed to expel all the magma sitting deep within me, because otherwise I'd surely explode into a million pieces that very moment. So I groaned from my mouth, from my whole body, while heat fell in drops from my eyes. I groaned and groaned, I groaned to the point of exhaustion. I wrung absolutely everything out of myself. Even having lost my voice, I was still wringing it all out. I understand how you feel. I really do, Maebara-san. Please just endure it for now. Please, I'm asking you, Maebara-san. Endure it for now. And then what, huh? What would happen to her, to Satoko? Her body and mind were wounded and she was being made to suffer like this. Can you not even let me howl in vain at it? Is that it, Coach? Are we this powerless, so powerless that we can't even fucking scream from the bottom of our hearts? I spit on myself, and my eyes got glassy. The voices of the Higurashi made me calm down. I didn't know how long it had been. Satoko abruptly gave a slight bow.
Thank you very much, Keiichi-san.
Satoko,
You looked a lot like my real Nini just now. My real Nini may not be here anymore.
Oh, now I'm gonna start crying.
But I have another Nini named Keiichi-san.
I don't know if you can tell, but this fucking music.
The music never helps.
No.
It really never does.
It's like a Disney movie suddenly. Can we get back to the...
Sad.
What?
Who uses tissues?
He knows how to hire the good music. Yes, he does.
Yeah. I mean, music is everything as well. I mean, this hits. But it's like in horror movies, you know? If there's a scene that's like super scary, if you see it without music, it's different. I mean, this is already a sensitive topic.
It's...
And I've always liked Satoko as a character. It's just sad.
How many people in their lives go through being killed or tortured in a kink dungeon? You know, like especially towards the end of chapter 2, like, do I understand the gravitas of the situation? Do I understand the panic, the terror, the fear? Yes. But given how weird the situation is, there is still like a barrier between me understanding the stakes and that this is all horrible and messed up, but it still feels like a fantastical, fictional setting. You know what I mean?
I mean, people getting murdered.
This is not fictional. Like, yeah, Higurashi is a video game, I get that, but what's happening right there? That happens right now in way too many places on this planet. Like,
It's unfortunately too common.
Yeah. And it makes me, again, so much angrier that Keiichi stands there in school going, yeah, I can't ask my parents. Yes, you can. You don't want to because it's weird. You don't want to go. Nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, I'm really looking forward to telling my parents one of my best friends is being emotionally and psychologically abused and we need to shelter her and we need to do something and get like this situation like solved. Nobody wants to do that. But you can at least try. And if then they shoot you down, at least you can say you tried. You know?
Yeah, but that needs a whole different bond with your parents too. Like, we see too little to know if that even is a relationship where you would take that step, even though it seems very logical.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a teenager. I don't expect him to act in certain... or to know how to act in certain situations. And sometimes the most obvious things just go out of the window
I get that, but maybe that's a me thing. I do not know, but to me, the harder it is to step out of your, I'm gonna say comfort zone. I think it's stronger than that, but I don't know a better word. The harder it is to break your nice happy life and like try to reach out and help, the more important it is to do. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, and in a way, like nothing to do with Higurashi or anything, but every day I go to Reddit at some point. Usually I look up memes, you know, when I share them with you. That's my love language. I send cute cat pictures to Tifa. But every now and then, because of how the algorithms work, I come across a message or a post like, yeah, my friend went through a hard time, so I asked my parents if they could stay with us for a bit, and then we did that, and I just want to post an update that was worked. And I know those stories are few and far in between, and I know it's the internet. I do not know if they're true or not. But every time I see one of those, and this reminds me of that.
That doesn't always help. Depending on the situation, you'll just be dragged back. They can't keep you. They can't keep a kid there, you know?
I get that, but you tried.
Like, I get your emotions, but that's not always the solution either.
I understand that, but in that sense, I'm with Reina. I'm on the... I tried everything to live my life to the fullest, and if tomorrow the world ends, I can say I tried. It's that. That's overpowering it for me.
Welcome back, Mattenart. Is going...
It's actually going... it's rough.
We're currently at the part where Satoko is being physically and mentally abused by her uncle, who has suddenly returned after a year. And we're basically...
And we have found all the proof we need.
But we can't do anything about it.
You missed the best part. From a writing perspective, yes. No, I arguably, I would agree. From a writing perspective, 100%. From an... Did I need to go through this? No. Hell no.
The emotional parts.
Yeah. Oh, dang, yeah.
And Mia knew and didn't say anything about it. For 3 days.
Yeah, but that was the beginning of history.
Right, true.
Effectively, the whole arguments we've had so far boiled down to, oh, we need proof that she's being abused. And we have proof now. And it still doesn't seem like anybody can do anything to solve the situation, to get her out of the situation. Not solve, that's a bigger step, but to just get her out of it. Yeah, you got it. I'm your Nini. And when you're in pain, I'll help you no matter what. Your Nini will rescue you for sure. Good thing I didn't put those away.
That will just keep on going.
You know what's funny? when I try to do a fake crying reading a message, I sound more like I'm crying when I actually do.
Yeah, because then you put more emphasis on it.
Yeah, plus I'm trying to breathe in between. Satoshi Hojo, you fucking idiot. If not now, then when? Satoko, she's never been in more pain in her life. If her Nini doesn't save her now, then when will he? Why did you run away? Why did you abandon her? Why did you leave Satoko behind? You don't have any right to call yourself Satoko's Nini.
Also, can you go back to the log for a second?
Anything to give me a moment. Yes.
Because she said her real Nini may not be here anymore. Okay.
Yeah, but that could be anything.
Yeah, fair. I was just thinking about the wording on how she said it, whether it implied she thought he was dead or not.
It could be.
But it could be both, yeah.
Again, it's the type of usage of words where it's not explicitly clear.
Yeah.
Also, he could just be in jail for the murder of his aunt.
Well, they don't know who it was.
Yeah, but... wait, the Hinamizawans don't know who it was. That doesn't mean he didn't run away and the police booked him.
Yeah, fair.
You know,
I guess.
And they just like completely like absolve themselves of the actions of Satoshi Hojo because Hojo. No. I won't run away.
Huh?
I definitely won't run away. I won't run away and abandon you like Satoshi did. No way! I will not abandon you. Tears trickled down from Satoko's eyes. And then she narrowed her eyes into a smile.
Goodbye, Nini.
Why does that fuck me up so much?
Seriously?
I'm just trying to get through my lines, I'm sorry. I want to, after we're done with all of this, see if did you do the hair thing? Tifa has a tell.
Automatically.
Tifa has a tell when she's crying. Like when she like really gets into that emotion.
I get the ugly red eyebrows.
Yeah, but that's normal. That's just human. No, besides that, that's just, you know, bodies react the way bodies do. No, but Tifa has... I'm gonna spoil it for yourself.
What's my...
What are you doing to the microphone?
Nothing.
Yes, you are. You're pulling it. Tifa has this tell where she's getting emotional. She does this to her hair.
I do that a lot though. I feel like it's annoying when I feel like my hair is there.
Yeah, but it's like you do this, and I don't know if that's like instinct or if you do it on purpose, but it's kind of like you're hiding yourself behind your hair. It's kind of cute. Please sit like a human.
I totally was already.
I'm gonna do something mean. Tifa, can you please sit like a Nini? I couldn't even say the line properly. Satoko took her right hand and awkwardly waved to me.
I'll be alright. My Nini now helped me so much. So I'll be okay. I'll do my best. Until tomorrow. I'll be okay. So, for today, this is goodbye.
There was no way that I could say bye, see you tomorrow. And then from inside the house came a throaty, disgusting voice. Satoko! Could you bring us the snacks already?
Okay, Nini. Get going already. I'll be fine now. Hurry.
Let's go, Maebara-san. Staying any longer than this would be a bother to Satoko-chan.
Coach. Nini's house is a little far away. I'm sorry to ask you this, but could you take him home?
Yes, I'll do that. Coach grabbed me by the collar and with strength I couldn't have imagined him having started dragging me away. And I, unable to oppose him, started getting farther away from Satoko. She waved her hand to us, expression still dark, and disappeared through the back door. I've said it before like 3 or 4 times now. Grab the girl and start driving. Like...
I'm quite sure he wants to.
But then again, he is in with a bad crowd, so he might still have connections, and then you both end up dead in a ditch.
Nah, something is still going to happen.
Uncle already saw him, yeah. Kidnapping just means the police will be out for you too, yes.
I'm quite certain whatever will happen in this chapter, Tepe will...
And you heard their names, yeah.
Get a nice and...
Somebody in this triangle is gonna die. I hope Satoko doesn't. I wouldn't be shocked if she does, simply because of, like...
I mean, it's not the first time she died.
Yeah, but this one, like, hurts. I'm not saying it wasn't sad when she got killed for absolutely no good reason other than she's a Hojo fucker, right? Like, she didn't have soy sauce, like, weird. Like, that was messed up, but this hurts. Coach got into the car first and turned around on the narrow path and brought the passenger side door around for me. I know how you feel so well it hurts. No, I think I understand it even more than you. But right now, just for now, please endure it. She understood exactly how you feel. So please, endure it. If you don't... I know already. I'm sorry. Thank you for before. I meekly got into the passenger seat. The car accelerated quietly and Satoko's house grew farther and farther away in the rearview mirror. I made a wide turn and then I couldn't see her house anymore. Is your house that far away? It's in the other direction from the school, isn't it? I didn't bother to reply. I would have been hard-pressed to give him an answer as to why I was at Satoko's house. Coach didn't say anything to me either. Or anything more either. For a while, the two of us were silent, the only sounds from the gravel spraying over the road as we drove. And the cicadas. I remembered how Reina said things were different than last year. At the time, she had Satoshi with her. Satoshi protected Satoko, so that less of the sparks fell onto her. But now, Satoshi isn't here. Yes, that's the unfortunate truth. Coach seemed to understand what I really meant when I said that. It's a terribly sad, cruel story. But there's a limit to our resolve, our efforts, and our assistance. It sounded like an excuse, but he was right. Even if Coach and I wanted to be people Satoko could depend on, that was all. It ended at the front door. No matter how much I shouted that I would be her Nini, no matter how much I shouted that I wouldn't abandon her, no matter how much Satoko called me Nini, I couldn't do any more than that. Where on earth could Satoshi have gone? Right, Satoshi was another story. Her actual brother Satoshi, he was in a position to protect her far, far better than we ever could. That was the cold, sad truth of the massive gulf between Satoshi and us. I wonder that's what he's been doing lately. Now they're talking again like he's alive.
Well, nobody thinks he's dead.
Satoshi left home. I didn't know why. Maybe it was because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, or he disappeared or something. In any case, he wasn't beside Satoko now. At the time Satoko needed him to protect her the most, he wasn't here. Why isn't he here? Satoko needs him now more than ever. A lot of people talk about Oyashiro-sama's curse, but the only thing I can say is that he ran away. One of my friends said that one day he just never came back. He ran away without even leaving so much as a note for his sister? Satoshi-kun had been doing part-time jobs a lot. At the time, Satoko-chan really wanted this huge stuffed animal. It ended up costing a lot, so he was doing all sorts of part-time jobs in order to afford it. He felt so strongly about it. Everyone was whispering about how he at least wanted to get his sister a nice birthday present, since she was being made to live in such a pitiful place with her uncle and his wife. And in the end, he didn't use his savings for a birthday present for Satoko. Satoshi-kun disappeared and the police looked long and hard. They found out that Satoshi-kun had withdrawn all his savings himself on the day he left. After checking all over, they began to think that maybe he'd used his savings to go to Tokyo. Tokyo? For what? Again, all I can say is that he ran away. He saved up all the money so he could run away. He was that selfish. But how could he just leave Satoko behind? If he was going to run away, he should have brought Satoko with him. Easier said than done.
How old is his brother anyway?
We don't know. Older than her.
Yeah, but if he's an adult, he could also be a guardian. As the brother.
I was thinking at some point, I've said that before, that Satoshi is Irie. But unlikely, right?
We're not gonna start with that. Sorry.
I'm sorry that my apparently bad ideas make your stomach turn.
Yes, they're horrible.
He's old enough to get a job, but not a good job.
Yeah, but you don't need to be or you can still be an adult and not have a good job.
Yeah, look at Tepe.
So that doesn't really say anything about his age. Because I have a feeling he's at least 18.
Now, if anything.
And a bank account you can also have as a minor.
I do not know how that works in Japan. Let me Google that, because maybe that's a clue towards your line of thinking. How old to... Google really has to think I'm trying to migrate to Japan and do some weird family stuff.
I can't imagine a single country where you can't open a bank account as a minor.
Yeah, but then you need your parents.
So, who said that wasn't set up before?
If the account holder is aged 13 and over and under 18 years old, you need a parent or legal representative.
No, go back up. Transactions can be made by a minor or a parent. And parent being a legal representative.
Wait, foreign citizen?
So you need to be 13 to have a bank account.
I don't speak Japanese, I can't look up Japanese websites. There is no age restriction for opening a 7 bank account, so apparently there's a bank called 7 Bank in Japan.
That makes sense, you can open an account for a baby already.
Yeah, but then it's your parents opening that account in your name.
So? That doesn't matter. Once you grow older, you can use it. Like, that doesn't say anything.
Plus, potentially his parents opened the bank account for him and he just used it now that he was living with the uncle and aunt. Yeah, fair enough. It doesn't matter how old he is in terms of could he have gotten a bank account.
I still wonder if he does turn out to be dead. I think that's a safe assumption to be made following the Watanagashi ritual so far. But I also have a feeling with how much we're going into him, and I know it's because he's connected to Satoko, that there is still something with him that's going to happen.
Also wouldn't be shocked if he did actually kill the aunt and then left, as in ran away by himself, because...
But if you would do that, you would also go for the uncle.
Like, if you don't have the opportunity.
They're both horrible, yeah, but then you wouldn't leave, probably.
I don't think it was a matter of... like, I'm gonna kill both of them. It was a matter of I snapped. Like, Something like this. The aunt pushed Satoko around Satoshi after years of the abuse, snapped, grabbed the bat, turned her into mincemeat. In the shock of the situation, realized, okay, done, but also I can't ever look at my sister because I just murdered a person. And
like,
then he
I
ran
do
away.
agree that he did it. We already discussed that yesterday.
And
then-
Teppei did leave after the aunt died, so it had some effect. Whether Satoshi was around long enough to see that happened, we do not know.
Yeah, I guess.
Even now, Coach was still calm. He wasn't trying to pour any oil on the fire of my anger at all. He just waited until my anger naturally subsided. After listening to gravel being crushed under the wheels for a little while, Coach spoke abruptly. Please understand. Satoko-chan, left behind, arrived at the same conclusion.
I'm a burden on my brother. That's why he abandoned me.
He didn't take her with him when he left. How terrible must Satoko have felt, being betrayed by the brother she loved so much. But Satoko-chan was a very strong person. And of course she had the support of close friends too, but that was how she regained her smile. I recalled how Satoko had spoken of Satoshi so brightly when I was eating dinner with her and Rika-chan a few days ago. At the time I didn't think of it any more than how pleasant their sibling love must have been. But now that I did think about it, I realized it was like she was peering into the distance from atop a pile of tragic perseverance. She said Satoshi-kun will come back for sure. But when he did, she wanted to see... But when he did, she wanted him to see how she was no longer a burden. Satoko isn't a burden. She's way better at day-to-day living than me, and she can do pretty much anything. I mean, she might fall behind Reina or Rika-chan in certain aspects, but she's way more of an adult than most people. That's a result of her having worked so hard since she didn't know when Satoshi would come home. Her efforts are so painful. While she lived with Rika-chan, while Rika-chan taught her how to handle everything flawlessly, also that she could welcome back Satoshi at any time, so that she could show him she wasn't ashamed. So, when is Satoshi going to come back? I asked Coach, but knew he wouldn't be able to answer. In any case, Satoshi ran away. He left Satoko and ran away from Hinamizawa. Someone said that when you leave Hinamizawa and run away, oyashiro-sama's curse gets you, right? Then that made sense. Satoshi running away and his disappearance? That would obviously mean people thought it was the curse, right?
He transferred.
Satoshi transferred.
It's totally different.
I'm looking forward to learning what the Goro part of the Tatarigoroshi means, because it's gonna be something like Goro means transferred, but also not really, you know? And they could smile, as though it were his own fault, as though he got what he deserved. The Goroshi means killing. Alright. I just need to find out what Tatari means. Thank you.
Google it.
No, I'm not gonna Google anything about these games.
Just put it in DeepL.
No. DeepL is gonna spoil the game for me.
There, curse killing arc.
Alright.
I think you
Take it.
even said that before already.
Yeah, I didn't grab the context. I swear to you, if I go to like DeepL or Google Translate or something and I put in Tatari or Tatarigoroshi, the English translation will be in Chapter 3, Episode 7, Coach gets killed by Teppei. Hey, oyashiro-sama, whoever you are, Satoshi didn't vanish because you ran away. You demoned him away with your curse, didn't you? If that's not what happened, then I won't forgive you. When did Satoshi run away? The night of Watanagashi festival last year, when my aunt was killed by that deviant. It was a few days after that, on Satoko-chan's birthday. On Satoko's birthday?
Dang.
I slammed my hands on the dashboard in front of me with all my might. By the way, no matter how angry you get, don't do that. You might actually trigger the airbags coming out. Satoshi. Of all the days, he could have chosen to run away. Their aunt just died a few days before, didn't she? All your days of suffering were about to end, weren't they? You were just about to start thinking about a new life, weren't you? It's wrong to be happy about someone dying, but for Satoko and her brother, her birthday had come at a critical turning point. Their mean uncle had fled town and the siblings would be left alone. They should have been able to be happy about that. On Satoko's birthday. Satoko was probably waiting for her brother to return the whole time. Waiting for her brother to return when he never did. Waiting with bated breath for her brother to return, her hopes and dreams of a new life to come growing ever larger. But no matter how long she waited, he didn't come back. He didn't even contact her. Satoko, trembling in anticipation of a great present, just when would she have to face the cold, terrible truth? Satoshi, you fucking idiot. I could feel my blood rising to my head in my anger at Satoshi. I was frustrated. I was aggravated. I couldn't forgive him. Satoko still respected and adored her brother, and yet he so heartlessly betrayed her. Such a person wouldn't just come back, now when he was most needed. Yes, no one would protect her. Not even her real brother Satoshi. So when she started to see you as her nini, I was happy. Huh? I pray for Satoko-chan's happiness as well, but I have a position in society and a job to do every day. I have little time that I can devote to Satoko-chan. But you're different. You go to school with her and you're closer to her and Satoshi-kun in age. I know you think you can only do so much, but you're in a position where you can give Satoko-chan a hand much better than I can. So I want you to help her enough for both of us. That's what I wish for. But that's... Coach, you could... Of course, with my job skills, there are plenty of things only I can help her with. But in the same way, there are things only you can do for her. What I want to say is, we should both perform in every way we can. Was that a little too complicated? Coach added that, but I shook my head in response. When I heard him say he had job skills, it reminded me that he was an adult in a different position from all of us. Maybe you should ask him about it. Gotta go catch a film. Dark Lord, thank you for being here. Have a wonderful time.
Have fun with Caroline.
In 3D. Oh, Coach, do you know a lot about laws? No, I know even less than the average person. Why? I thought back to when I argued with Mion and the others about Satoko. Our children's argument had only left us with the conclusion that we had to wait and see, but what would an adult think? What was it, the child welfare law? As an emergency measure to secure the safety of a juvenile, they can't force him or her to separate from the parents. They can do that. So then we could rescue Satoko from her uncle right away. Satoko-chan might not want that. Unless the person being abused wants shelter anyway. It doesn't go that far. Satoko doesn't want it. Why? Coach didn't answer me. I didn't know why he didn't. It was clear as day that Satoko's uncle was being violent and treating her like a slave. So then why? I clamped down on my frenzied emotions and waited intently for Coach to answer, but he never did. It wasn't like he was pretending he hadn't heard me. If I had to say, it was more like he wanted to explain, but couldn't put it into the right words. Satoko-chan probably thinks of his abuse as a trial. A trial? This isn't some weird religion we're talking about. You might know this, but Satoshi-kun always looked out for Satoko-chan. She always relied on him, almost as though she was utterly dependent on him. I'd known for a while that Satoshi had always protected Satoko from their aunt and uncle, but that was his duty as an older brother, not something to worry about. I think that may have traumatized her. Maybe she figured that depending so heavily on her brother had made him hate her. And for Satoko, the current situation was a retelling of a story of a little over a year ago. But this time Satoshi wasn't there. She wants to overcome this trial by herself without relying on anyone else. And that if she doesn't grow strong, then Satoshi-kun will never return. She thinks something like that now. Oh, so I believe. Now that he mentioned it, Satoko had never said a word about how hard it had been before. I figured she was being threatened not to talk about it, but I talked with everyone who were wondering if we should report it to the Child Consultation Center. I have heard that a social worker was visiting Satoko-chan last year. Yes. In the end they decided to wait and see, and we thought maybe that made her get tormented even more. That was, apparently Satoko-chan reported it herself. And as a result, the abuse worsened, but was kept just out of sight. She was under even more torment, and the burden on Satoshi-kun for protecting her rose considerably. Could Satoko... She wouldn't be thinking it's her own fault for reporting it, would she? Yes, that's exactly what people think in that situation. Coach nodded quietly. Satoko-chan would probably either hate it if you suggested reporting the abuse or feign courage and say you didn't need to. And even if you reported it in secret, she'd probably insist to the social worker that she wasn't being abused. Satoko always acts tough and doesn't readily admit defeat, so I could imagine that easily. The Child Consultation Center has enormous authority in these matters. They can take emergency measures without needing any permission from a court or the concerned child. If the abuse was known to the public, they could forcibly shelter her even if she denied it. For Satoko-chan, that would probably mean losing. This isn't about winning or losing. It's real life. Satoko, she's... Back on topic. After they placed her under their protection, she would be sent to a child care institution or the like. She would basically be living there, so it would mean moving away. And with a change in residence would come a change in schools too. But changing schools, it has to be done. If that's what it will take for her to be safe. But you don't want her to move away, because that would mean she has to leave Hinamizawa. And leaving Hinamizawa means she becomes the target of Oyashiro-sama's curse.
Wasn't there another thing in place for that? Like you don't just have to live there and go back? Wasn't there something else?
Your movement there was very much seal on the beach. Look, kind of cute.
Besides, no one
people
of them think like that, I think.
Unless you're Reina, who came back for some reason.
That it doesn't make sense yet, the whole leaving in July.
Because it's a cult. Satoko-chan understands all of those things. All the more reason for her not to want it. Why? Because Satoko-chan's reason for living is to wait at the house for Satoshi-kun to return. She was a husk, an empty shell after being abandoned by her brother. How did she find her reason to live? Try looking at it from Satoko-chan's point of view, rather than your own. I felt like he was trying to confuse me with that hard-to-understand roundabout way of talking so unique to adults. The point was, I couldn't do anything about Satoko wanting to stay in that house, and that I should watch until she gives in. In the end, no matter what I said, Coach himself was saying to wait and see. Hey, this is the fucked up part about this, but if a person doesn't want their help, like you can remove them from the situation, but it doesn't fix the situation, you know what I mean? Like,
shouldn't apply to children.
Yeah, but you will traumatize her again. And there's no way of telling if not for worse. Like, out of trying to help her. I don't understand. What? If I feel that Satoko is really in danger, I will report it without asking anyone's opinion. She might not be happy with the result and she might hate me for it. But I believe that will ultimately be what brings Satoko's happiness. Coach turned to me and gazed fixedly into my eyes.
There's a reason we don't let kids decide these important things, yeah?
Yeah.
This is not a decision Satoko should even be allowed to make.
But really?
Do I get it? Yes.
Removing her from this, completely uprooting her from all the friends she had, putting her into this new situation. Are they really gonna give her the years of therapy she's gonna need to process all of this? I would hope so, but somehow my gut tells me otherwise.
Even if not, that's still better than staying there.
I agree. Listen, I agree. It's better to do something than to do nothing. You know, even if you fail in the end, you tried. But it was written all over his face. He was shocked at what such a young kid had said. Why would you go that far? Coach, rather normal adults might not have understood. So I taught him the creed and the values that I believed in. Satoko is my friend. And I am Satoko's Nini. Isn't that enough of a reason? I stared at him with a will strong and unbreakable as steel as his eyes betrayed the tiniest bit of unrest.
Would be the lesser evil. I agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, like, ultimately my rationale would be I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. So I can either knowingly hurt her now, with the chance of her still living a happy, successful life later on, or I can not act now and she potentially dies in the next week when she falls down the stairs again. You know? Like, I would rather take the chance, even if she hates me, just like Keiichi said. No, of course that's enough. We were silent for a little while until finally Coach said only that. Didn't we make a promise? No, I'm sorry, what? That we weren't going to ever let Satoko cry. We made a vow on that day at the barbecue party. I didn't think about it hard at all, but Coach and I still made a promise. That we wouldn't ever let Satoko cry. Coach gave a dry grin of regret, immediately apologizing for not remembering. One way or another, when he grinned like that, it made me think that his enthusiasm for saving Satoko was a tiny bit smaller than mine. He lightly hit the brakes, making a skidding noise, and my whole body suddenly fell forward. Could that be your house there? Oh, right, Maebara-san would live at the Maebara residence, wouldn't he? Before I knew it, we were almost at my house.
Sorry, it's so small, it's easy to overlook.
Yeah, it just looks brand new, and I've been here a bunch of times, and I've never seen this house before, so it makes sense, right? Also, I mean, I don't know how the story continues. I didn't write it, but I wouldn't necessarily say that Irie's feelings are lesser or tinier or whatever. They're just, his perspective is different.
Don't forget, he isn't just learning about these things. Keiichi is now being hit by a whole new wave of emotions he still needs to go through.
Yeah, plus I would imagine Irie, being older, also considers all the surrounding facts. Like, hey,
Why'd you go to poster?
Because the chapter's over and we should not go to bed too late. You want to still do the tip?
I was gonna say we still finished the tip. I mean, we're gonna take a
We're back!
2-week break after this.
Okay.
Might as well finish the chapter.
Alright.
What are you, me?
Yeah. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Shocking.
I'm sorry, Tifa, that without me specifically asking, I considered your feelings. I'm sorry.
I know,
No.
he just went out of it.
No, sorry, I must apologize. This is toxic masculinity. I should have just asked her.
Decent.
What was I saying? What was I trying to say? Yes. I would imagine that unlike Keiichi, Irie also paid attention to the fact that so we've got this drug addict guy in there who is doing all of these horrible things to a kid, and he has friends. And he knows his name, he knows my name, and that might not end well. You know, even if he gets separated from the child, they know what I look like.
I can't really compare how a 30-year-old and a 15-year-old look at these things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There, I said it in one line. I'm just kidding. Let's do the tip.
Case 31.
I'll do it. You've been talking the entire time. 1st of December 1981.
Will you please read the line the way it's written?
No, I just did.
No.
December 1, 1981.
Thank you. This is a German stream. We stick to the rules.
Prefecture Juvenile Welfare Division report.
Excuse me, underscore, 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 underscore.
Do not view, do not duplicate. Case 31, November 20. Satoko Hojo, X years old. Residence, Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone. Consultation circumstances. Anonymous telephone SOS of child abuse. 2. Abuse situation. Anonymous claims that a female child is suffering physical abuse by adoptive parents or guardians. 3. Family structure marks abusers, or circle marks abusers. Actually, I'll leave that out because it's going to be confusing. The adoptive father, the adoptive mother, the older brother, and the child in question. The mother and the father being the abusers. Note, in June 1980.
In June 1980. Welcome to Tifa Does Trailer Voices.
Note, in June 1980, the child's parents died in an accident and she was given to her uncle on her father's side, her father's younger brother. 4. Child Consultation Center's response. On the day of the anonymous telephone consultation, the center called the child's school and asked of her situation. The next day, the welfare officer on duty visited the child's home and heard what they had to say. Both adoptive parents agreed to the center's coaching. Contacted anti-abuse network in the city. As part of this suggested coaching, a district welfare officer in the area began visiting for coaching at fixed intervals. The scrawled note below is stapled to the report. Related information from former officer Mr. W. Refer to 1977 document D2-3 number 44. Ask Chief Investigator F from the city's education consultation offices. He is well informed about it.
W and F. Do we...
What's Oishi's last name?
Oishi.
First name?
Corrado.
Also, they wouldn't do Mr. W with first name.
F could be Furude.
Doesn't make sense.
F could be Furude.
But that's also the only F we know, I think.
Yeah.
Can't say I've all the names. I forgot all the names all of a sudden. The F group.
I guess.
Well, that was an interesting ride.
I hated this. Yeah, I was not... No. I would not have minded if the beautiful Higurashi would have been more slice of lifeiness. I would have been very okay with it.
Nah, I prefer the not slice of lifeiness parts, actually.
I'll read 1,000,000 pages of slice of life over a even just remotely realistic depiction of the trauma of domestic abuse.
Yeah, but that's the nice part.
That's the actual Higurashi part of Higurashi. Then again, what is Higurashi but the sum of all of its parts? Sound kind of deep.
I hear the cicadas cry.
For my pretentiousness, as they should. Yeah, it's been a stream.
But at least we finished the episode.
Yes.
And the tips, because now we'll have a 2-week break from Higurashi because for vacation. Friday, Jack already mentioned we're doing something else.
Yeah. I can't think of anything greater than to go on a effectively almost 3-week break from streaming Higurashi, with my last important memory being child abuse. Yeah, great.
Well, and at least I guess we're breaking it up on Friday. I think with the end of the chapter, it's a good...
I agree with you.
It's a good cut.
I completely agree with you. Wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So that works out. It is Wednesday, right?
Today is Wednesday, yes. Tomorrow's Thursday, my father's birthday.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Not like the fact that it's a Thursday has anything to do with that, it just happened to be on.
Oh well, we'll take it. So yeah, we're going to be back on Friday with a surprise stream.
An extravaganza.
Ooh, I like that. So I say for now we call it a night by saying hi to Benjima, who I believe is playing Elden Ring.
I believe you're lying. Let's check. No, he is continuing playing Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, I only saw the title and I saw Elden...
Benjima is going to play Elden Ring as a subscriber goal.
Oh.
That's the idea.
I didn't see the actual game, just the title. Sorry, I assumed things, said the wrong game.
Wow, toxic femininity.
Metal Gear Solid 2, let's go say hi to Benjima, give him some love, and I'm stealing your part, so go ahead.
You steal my recap segue. You stole, I forgot what was the other thing in between, and now you also stole my outro functions. Yeah. How dare you?
I know, right?
How dare she? Yes, Friday will be a palate cleanser. Will be nothing like this. You might cry on Friday from the sheer awesomeness that will be on display. I don't want to promise too much, but it's gonna be something we have never done before.
Oh,
we have never done this before.
Okay, yeah.
Don't argue with me, it's not happened like this. I know that for a fact because, unlike you, I've actually been here for every single stream.
Yeah, that is actually true, yeah. Might have been in the ones I've missed, who knows?
No, it hasn't, so no.
Oh.
That's what I'm...
Fair, that was just confusing.
I could just tell you, but that ruins the surprise. If you cannot stick around for the raid, please check out Benjima whenever it's convenient for you. You should, he's great. And he just returned from his 2-week vacation, so let's get on his nerves.
So we're swapping.
Let's bug him about Metal Gear Solid stuff, I guess. Let me set this up. There we go, I found the right button. Yes. Tifa, do you have any more stakes or nuggets of wisdom to disperse?
No. It's time to prepare for the rest of this week.
Excuse me, can you please appreciate that I'm taking our comedy full circle by not just saying nuggets of wisdom, but bringing back the steak?
Yeah, that's true, but we never have an extra nugget of wisdom. So I feel like we can also skip the part, really.
First of all, it took me like 4 years to come up with a line. So, I would appreciate some more constructive criticism from you. Second of all, you don't even have a line of your own after 4 years.
Yeah, because then you go like, oh, this is my part.
That's not the point.
Okay, so my nuggie is that I'll press the button.
Yes, good night everybody. Get a break, stick around for the raid if you can, please. Press the button. Now I
felt like
she faked me out again. If you can, please stick around for a raid. Thank you all for witnessing more Higurashi with us. With you on Friday. Bye.
Thank you.